Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samarabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Okay, so now we shall see the
Day 6.
Day 6, 8th canto and the part 2 of the 8th canto. So in this particular part, we shall see the Mohini Murti part and also how the nectar was being given to the demigods while cheating the asuras or the demons. So, Mohini Murti actually came exactly at the moment when Dhanvantari was holding the nectar and all the gods around him were trying to snatch the nectar from her, from him. And at that time, she came there, she made a small settlement, and then everybody was listening to her because she was just looking at them and hypnotizing them with her looks. Then now we shall see that part of the shlokas. Tato grihitwamrita bhajanam harihi Babhasha ishat smita shobhaya gira Yadyabhyupetam kvacha sadhva sadhuva Kritam mayahu vibhaje sudhamimam. Thereafter, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, having taken possession of the container of nectar, smiled slightly and spoke in attractive words. She said, "My dear demons, if you accept whatever I may do, whether honest or dishonest, then I can take the responsibility for dividing the nectar among you." So when she was saying this itself, all the demons were attracted towards her and forgot about their share of nectar, anything, and they agreed to it immediately because demons are generally attracted to women. That's why a particular form is what the Lord took at that moment to attract all the demons. That's why he took the form of a woman. If he had taken the form of a man, all the demons would instead have fought with him instead of doing anything else. So then she just kept on giving the nectar to the gods and kept on looking at the demons on the other hand side and started attracting the demons, and they were just looking at her and then they were forgetting all about the nectar, and the nectar was continuously being given to the devas. After that, what happened was she finished her plan and all the nectar had gone. Before that, Rahu, who understood that these things were happening, immediately went to the other side of the place wearing the clothes of a demigod, ran to the other side and then sat there. After sitting on the other side, that Rahu, Vishnu actually did not even detect him, having taken that, and then went and just gave it to Rahu also. Rahu took it inside, and the moment he took it to the neck, one drop had gone to the neck, this much, one more drop had gone down to the body. So the neck was cut off, and because Vishnu suddenly realized, because sun and the moon were just detecting it, and they said, "Oh, there Rahu has taken it. He's not a demigod. We are not able to recognize him, but he's a demon." So then that sharp chakra was released by the Lord, and it went directly, cut the throat of that vicious demon Rahu, and his head flew up high in the sky. He made an uproar, a huge uproar, and that huge head flew, and Lord Brahma accepted it as one of the planets. That's why even nowadays in astrology, in everything, we consider Rahu to be a very effective planet. And next, the body, which had no head, only the body, became Ketu, or the other side of Rahu. So he became Ketu and he became another planet, and Lord Brahma also accepted him as a planet. Then, immediately after this happens, all the gods saw the form of Vishnu distributing the nectar to all the demigods, and the demigods have already got up with no old age, nothing, no problem with them, no disease, no old age, and immortality. They are full of all of that. They were enjoying themselves. The moment the demons saw that this was happening, even though they were powerful than the demigods in their previous time, actually there was a story that Brihaspati, Durvasa, had he was just walking in the forest one day, and then Apsara, one very beautiful Apsara, brought him a garland and gave it to him. Durvasa took that garland, and then when he was walking, he saw Indra also going there, so he gave the garland to Indra. You have this. It's a very nice garland. I got it from the Apsaras, and I'm now giving it to you. But what Indra did was, he just took that garland, he put it on Airavata, signaled to Airavata to throw it down. Airavata threw it down and stamped on it. Durvasa was so angry when he saw this, because Indra was thinking that I have all the garlands in the world, and in my Gandhara garden I have millions of Apsaras bringing garlands to me daily. What is the use of this garland coming from one Apsara, that too from worldly sage, is what he was thinking. With so much pride, he flung it, even though it was given with an Ashirvada by Brihaspati. By Durvasa Muni. Then immediately Durvasa Muni said, may all the power of heavens and of all your devotees, all your devas, your servants, everybody just disappear within a flash of second from now. There all the power started going. The next morning when they got up, all the devas, they found that their limbs were weak, their powers had gone, they could not lift their weapons and throw it, nor could they do any good thing. So then, when they were so tired, the Asuras, who knew that this was happening, immediately performed a huge sacrifice, and in that sacrifice they got a lot of power. From the sacrifice they started pouring a lot of ghee inside, and lots of power started generating from that, and then fully when the power generated, it brought a lot of spiritual energy inside them. So this means that only in Satya Yoga all of these sacrifices are it can give you a feel. If you do it in the modern days, this sacrifice, that sacrifice, it can give minimum result, but not the result that you can get from the olden days sacrifices, because now it is happening as Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, 5 acts are forbidden. That is all these different religious things and many more also. So these religious things that we do, performing sacrifices, are not at all considered in Kali Yuga. So when this was happening, at that time the Asuras got a lot of power, attacked the Devas, and the Devas could not do anything but surrendered to the Asuras. All the Devas were almost killed, and the Asuras, headed by Maharaja Bali, this is a different Bali, the 2 Balis. This one is a demoniac Bali. So he took the entire kingdom and he took it under his control, and and his name was Maharaja Bali. So Bali headed all the demons and fought a war, killed all the Devas. Some of the main Devas, principal Devas, used some of their powers and escaped from these Danavas. And finally these Daityas, Danavas, Asuras, all of them headed by Maharaja Bali went and took away entire kingdom of Indra, started living peacefully in that kingdom, torturing every single other person, and took away Shachi Devi also, the wife of Indra. So when this was happening, everybody was getting very scared of this dangerous demon who was called Maharaja Bali, and he finally, all these gods headed by Indra went to Brahma and begged them to do what should we do like this. Then finally Brahma told them, ask Vishnu, I may not know all of this because I have only given them this power, all of this, and now my power is also exhausted. So now I can't tell you what to do, so I'll tell you, so I'll just invoke Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu will tell you. So then he invoked Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu came in front of him. And then Brahma showed Lord Vishnu to all Devas. The Devas offered respectful obeisances to the Lord. And finally what happened was, all the different demigods were just blessed by the Lord, by his divine glance. And then the Lord said this one thing, that I have an idea and I know what has happened to you too, even though you have not conveyed it to me. So you just make a plan of making a big plan to bring out the nectar from the ocean. After doing all of this, just explain it to them and force them to believe that it's good for them, and hypnotize them and make them it's correct for them. Everything else I'll take care. And after that, Kurmavatara came in place, and then Mohini Murti. So this is the Mohini Murti part, and then this is the Rahu part of it. So Rahu came and sat within the place of all the demigods, and the sun and the moon immediately said that it was Rahu, and then Mohini Murti took her Sudarshan Chakra and cut it off. So we shall see this shloka like this. तस्यासन् सर्वतो यानैः यूथानां पतयोऽसुराः नगुचिः शम्बरो बाणो विप्रचित्तिरयो मुखः द्विमूर्धा कालनाभूथ प्रहेतिर्हेतिरिल्वलः शकुनिर्भूतसन्तापः वज्रदंष्ट्रो विरोचनः हयग्रीवः शङ्कुशिराः कपिलो मेघधुन्दुभिः तारकश्चक्रधृक्शुम्भो निशुम्भो जम्भ उत्कलः अरिष्टोऽरिष्टनेमिश्च मायश्च त्रिपुराधिपः अन्ये पौलोमः कालेयाः निवातकवचादयः अलब्धभागाः सोमस्य केवलं क्लेशभागिनः सर्व एते रणमुखे बहुशो निर्जतामराः सिंहनादं विमुञ्चन्तः शङ्खान् दद्मुर्महानवान् दृष्ट्वा सपत्नान् उत्सिक्तान् बलभिः कुपितो भृशम्. Surrounding Maharaja Bali on all sides were the commanders and captains of the demons sitting on their respective chariots. Among them were the following demons: Namuchi, Shambara, Bana, Viprachitti, Ayomukha, Vimurdha, Karanagha, Praheti, Heti, Ilvala, Shakuni, Bhutasantapa, Vajradamshtra, Virochana, Hayagriva, Shankushira, Kapila, Meghadundhubi, Taraka, Chakradrik, Shumbha, Nishumbha, Jambha, Utkala, Arishta, Arishtanemi, Tripuradhipa, Maya, the sons of Puloma, the Kalayas and the Nivata Kavacha. All of these demons has been deprived of their share of nectar and now had shared merely in the labor of churning the ocean. So, they all were ready to fight against the Devas because they had come, they had given the labor, the amount of people to churn the ocean. They had helped these Devas in churning the ocean, but they were deprived of their share of the nectar and Mohini cheated them. The Lord troubled them a lot, killed one of their associates. So all of these demigods immediately lifted up their arms and marched against these all the Devas, especially Indra. And now, sitting on Airavata, Airavatam dikkarinam aludhashishubhe swarat yatha shravat prashravanam prasravanam udayadrim aharpatihi. Sitting on Airavata, an elephant who can go anywhere and who holds water and wine in reserve for showering. Lord Indra looked just like the sun rising from Udayagiri where there are reservoirs of water. So Lord Indra got very angry. He's called Balabhit. So he got so angry and his ferocious rivals, the Daityas and the Danavas, who were also very powerful, had a face-to-face fight with Indra now. Tasyasan sarvato devaha nana bahadvajayudhaha lokapala sahavanihi vayabhyagnivarunadayah. Surrounding Lord Indra, the king of heaven, were the demigods seated on various types of vehicles and decorated with flags and other weapons. Present among them were Vayu, Agni, Varuna and other rulers of various planets along with their associates. So then, what happened was first all these demigods and gods started hurling abuses at each other in form of words. And they were torturing each other with different weapons, words and everything. And finally the fight began in which all the demigods and gods were fighting a lot. And the earth trembled and the Mandara mountain and the ocean all were trembling fast. The animals were almost dying. And finally, because the demigods had the power of the nectar, the gods had a lot of power of the nectar and the blessings of the Lord too. And the demigods didn't have any power of the nectar. They were weak now because of even working for the demigods. And finally being deprived of nectar, not having any power of the nectar. And now were trying to fight with the gods. But unfortunately, they were all killed. When the demigods could find no way to counteract the activities of the demons, they wholeheartedly meditated upon Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of the gods and the creator of the universe. So, now we shall see the part of Kalaneni. one demon named Kalanemi, a dangerous demon, took one trident and aimed it at the Lord's Garuda. So Garuda, when he was flying with the Lord, immediately when the fight was happening, the demons were actually even more powerful than the gods too. But this Kalanemi, a very dangerous demon, suddenly got up. He was riding on a dangerous lion and he aimed a trident at Garuda. So let's see what happened after that. न तत्प्रतिविधिं यत्र विदुर इन्द्रादयो नृप ध्यातः प्रादुरभूत् तत्र भगवान् विश्वभावनः. O king, when the demigods could find no way to counteract the activities of the demons, they wholeheartedly meditated upon the supreme personality of the Godhead, the creator of the universe, who then immediately appeared. Tatas suparnam shakritam ghripallavaha pishangavasanavakanjadochanah अदृश्यताष्टायुधबाहुर्लसत् श्री kaustubham nardhya kireetakundalah. The supreme personality of the Godhead, whose eyes resemble the petals of a newly blossomed lotus, sat on the back of Garuda, spreading his lotus feet over Garuda's shoulders. Dressed in yellow, decorated by the Kaustubha gem, by the goddess of fortune, and wearing an invaluable helmet and earrings, the Supreme Lord, holding various weapons in his 8 hands, became visible to the demigods. So, in 8 hands, this form of the Lord was having 8 hands with different weapons, and suddenly when they all meditated over the Lord, he came in the form with the Garuda. But what happened at that time was, दृष्ट्वामृधे गरुडवाहमिभारिवाह आविध्यशूलमहिनो रथकालनेमिः तल्लीलया गरुडमूर्ध्निपतद्गृहीत्वा तेनानन्द्रपसवाहमरिं त्र्यधीशः. O king, when the demon Kalanemi was carried by a lion was taken Kalanemi, one dangerous demon, and he was walking with the lion. The lion was running in a fierce form, and Kalanemi was sitting on the lion and attacking Garuda. So at that moment, Hari, the master of the 3 worlds, immediately caught the trident, and at the same very weapon he killed the enemy Kalanemi along with its carrier, the lion. Kalanemyadayah sarve karinani hata api shukreno jivitah santah Punasthenaiva patitah. Kalanemi and other demons were killed by the supreme personality of Godhead Hari. But when Shukracharya, their spiritual master, brought them back to life, they were again killed by supreme personality of the Godhead. So when Kalanemi was dead, again Shukracharya brought them back to life by chanting some mantras. But again, the same thing. Again, the Lord brought them back to. Again, the Lord killed them and finally ended their tortures. नटवन्मूढमायाभिः मायेषान् नो जिगीषसि जित्वा बलान्निबद्धाक्षान् नटो हरति तद्धरम्. Indra said to Bali Maharaja. So Bali, this is not that other devotee Bali. This is a dangerous Bali who was a demon. So this Bali was so bad, and he was an Asura too, and there he was trying to kill Indra because of whatever happened. So Indra said, "O rascal, as a cheater somehow binds the eyes of a child and takes away his possessions, you are trying to defeat us by displaying some mystic power, although you know that we are the masters of all such mystic powers." Aru rukshanti mayabhihi utsisprushtanti te divam tandasun vidhunom yajnan purvasmarcha padadasah. Those fools and rascals who want to ascend the upper planetary system by mystic power or mechanical means, or who endeavor to cross even the upper planets and achieve or achieve the spiritual world or liberation, I cause to be sent to the lowest region of the universe. So in modern days, what happens is, these crazy scientists and stupid people who try to go to the moon and try to sit there and do some great research as they want to do, they are just demons who are trying to come somehow go to the upper planetary systems and try to live there. Nowadays, even what they're doing is, the 13 families, the biggest families, are trying to build homes in Mars, in Moon, and all of these planets, which are the demigods' planets. So, it's the same Kali Yuga thing happening. Whatever is given in the Bhagavatam, the same demons who are trying to come to Indra's planet or the Moon's planet, the same demons in the form of humans are now trying to ascend these big planets, and they are sending their robots, machines and mechanical means. So even the shloka is given. Mechanical means. The asuras were using these mechanical means to cheat the lords. But Indra is saying that to those people I shall send them down to the lowest planetary systems again. So this is what is happening. And then finally Shiva, after this incident happened, Vishnu went back to his world.
Yeah. We would like to start from this.
So now we shall continue. So there are many kinds of people. One is the personalist Vedantists. Second is the impersonalist Vedantists. They belong to two different faiths, Dvaita and Advaita. Advaita are the people who concentrate on one form. They don't even regard a stable form of the Lord. So they say Lord is unseen, or Lord is a not known creature, or like just a light, an impersonal light. Their philosophy is also correct, but for common people, we can't keep concentrating on that form. Even Kabir, many people have said, many great people have said that you should concentrate on the impersonal form. There's no body for that Lord. But actually, it's very difficult for any normal person to concentrate on such a difficult form. Like, what should you concentrate on? There's no form of the Lord. What will you concentrate on if you don't know how the Lord looks like? So if you try to concentrate on some light, then your mind will get distracted. So it's not at all possible for any modern human or a human who is not developed in intelligence. So therefore, all the people in Kali Yuga who are not at all with any intelligence, people in Kali Yuga don't have intelligence normally. So they all must concentrate on the supreme form of the Lord, that is with the cow, with Radha, with Balarama, or killing a demon, like that. Every single form of the Lord with the personal form. That is how we can concentrate on the Lord. Otherwise, we will be distracted and somewhere and all it will go the mind. We can't concentrate exactly. That's why the Dvaita philosophy is almost correct for Kali Yuga. But still, there are many fights regarding this, and many people are saying this, some people are saying that. But actually, the Bhagavatam itself says that the Sankhya philosophers are wrong when they say that the impersonal form must be concentrated by everybody. Only some very great people can just concentrate on that spot, not us. So, we'll tell the shlokas of that. त्वां ब्रह्म केचिदवयन्त्युत धर्ममेके एके परं सदसतोः पुरुषं परेशम् अन्ये वयन्ति नवशक्तियुतं परं त्वां केचिन्महापुरुषमव्ययमात्मतन्त्रम् नाहं परायुर्षयो न मरीचिमुख्य जानन्ति यद्विरचितं खलु सत्त्वसर्गाः यन्मायया मुषितचेतस ईशदैत्य मर्त्यादयः किमुत शश्वतभद्रभक्ताः. Those who are known as the impersonalist Vedantists regard you as the impersonal Brahman. Others, known as the Mimamsaka philosophers, regard you as religion. The Sankhya philosophers regard you as a transcendental person who is beyond Prakriti and Purusha and who is the controller of even the demigods. The followers of the codes of devotional service known as the Pancharatras regard you as being endowed with the 9 different potencies. And the Patanjala philosophers, the followers of Patanjali Muni, regard you as a supreme independent personality of God who has no equal or superior. So these are the main philosophies that are there. So impersonal Brahman, the Vedantas, impersonal Vedantas say impersonal Brahman. And the best ones in this are the Patanjala ones and also the Sankhya philosophers and the Pancharatras. But actually, the code of devotional philosophy is only the greatest thing. If we follow some impersonal thing, then we can't understand the Lord. So everything else is partial truth. The real truth is the devotional service of the Lord. So next one. Okay. Okay. So, desiring to conquer Indra, the king of heaven, Bali Maharaja performed a special ritualistic ceremony called Vishwajit. Vishwajit means the thing in which people become very, very powerful, the lords of the entire world. So, they get this particular power when they perform this sacrifice called Vishwajit. In this, they have to give off whatever they have. Till the end of the sacrifice, whatever things they have in their hand, they have to give it off to everybody. Afterwards, whatever they acquire, that's okay. But whatever they have till the end of the sacrifice, they have to give off. So they give to Brahmanas, everybody. The end of the sacrifice, they take the entire world. So they give whatever little they have. At the end of the sacrifice, after taking so much hardship, they acquire the entire world back from the people that they have given it to. So, Bali Maharaja, this is the second Bali, the devotee Bali. So, Prahlada, his grandfather, gave him a set of flowers which will never fade. And also for him, they appeared yellow horses like those of Indra, a flag marked with a lion, a gilded bow, 2 quivers of infallible arrows and celestial armor. Then Bali Maharaja's grandfather Prahlada Maharaja offered Bali a garland of flowers that would never fade, and Shukracharya gave him a conch shell so that he blows it and then he wins the victory. So then he went directly towards Indra and he got thousands of soldiers, each one of them sitting on chariots and huge different as Akshauhinis together. Akshauhini means, we'll see in the 9th canto what it means. It means 21,078 chariots and about 6,056 elephants, more than 1 lakh infantry walking soldiers, 1 lakh soldiers on horses, and millions of weapons with each one of them. So this is what he had. Millions of armies walking, marching towards him and blowing, "Let there be victory towards Bali, let there be victory towards Bali," and they were screaming like that. Then Bali said, "Stop. All the victory, let it go to the Lord, and now let's march towards Indra's place and conquer him," is what he said. Because every single demon will have that one internal thing to conquer a dangerous person or Indra. So Indra was also very bad towards them. Bali was not simply conquering or doing anything, because Bali's younger brother was killed by Indra. Indra was thinking as he may kill me. Even though Bali's brother was very good, he was a very good person, still this Indra killed his brother, and therefore all of this was done by Bali. So immediately when Indra saw that thousands of armies had approached his place, he just got up and saw he is shaking, his arms, everything was shaking, and he was seeing. His name is called Sahasraksha, or he has 1,000 eyes all over his body, as you may see here. Thousands of eyes all over his body. So we should see the shloka.
But like peacock feather जैसे था, वांगलो होगोच्छ peacock feather वांगलो होगा, not listen में इंदो वसु हजारों अखिन सापी, किना खाली ब अखिन साई दिसी बाकी सब
some peacock fella vaangu beautiful unda para it's his normal eyes only.
Okay, decent me do this.
He was cursed to do that because so that Tera may be accused and so that when he stamps, no, eyes will pain. He was cursed like that because he had taken away a wife of Rishi, Gautama Rishi's wife, Ahalya.
Okay.
Ahalya. So that's why he got that curse, 1,000 eyes all over his body.
Pencil.
But these days it's very common, no?
Huh?
Like what we see around. It's very common, but nobody is cursed like that. They are having a good
In the
time.
next verse, they become trees in the next verse because of what they do. Adultery and all, it finally ends up in all those beings becoming trees, long trees, so that they also have to stand naked, just like naked tree. They are conscious of what is happening daily. In their lives, they'll be conscious when termite is surrounding them, but they can't do anything. They can't push off the termites with their branches. They can't. The termites will eat them up, kill them. Snakes will live in them inside. Everything they'll undergo. Owls will come and sit and hoot inside their places. Won't that be a fear for them inside the heart? Different spiders will be crawling day by day on top of them. Because of what they do, those living entities will be made trees. The same with Nalakuvera, as we see in the 10th canto, they also the same life they used to live. They used to go around in lakes and enjoy all of that. So they were taken by, they were cursed by by Narada to become two trees or in the form of Arjuna trees or Yamala Arjuna trees. So that was what they were cursed. Okay. विजेष्यति न कोप्येनं ब्रह्म तेजः समेधितं नास्य शक्तः पुरस्थातुं कृतान्तस्य यथा जनाः. Neither you nor your men can conquer the most powerful Bali. Brihaspati is telling Indra. Indeed, no one but the Supreme Personality of Godhead can conquer him, for he is now equipped with the supreme spiritual power, Brahma Tejas. As no one can stand before Yamaraja, no one can now stand before Bali Maharaja. Therefore, waiting under the situation of your enemies is reversed. You should all leave this heavenly planet and go elsewhere where you will not be seen. Bali Maharaja has now become extremely powerful because of the benedictions given by him by the Brahmanas. But when he later insults the Brahmanas, he will be vanquished along with his friends and assistants. So, because he made this wonderful place, wonderful yajna, because of that he got Brahma Tejas or the spiritual Tejas. Nobody could even stand and question him anything because he now became the greatest king.
So for you make a no masalas?
No, all masalas are
Put juice, put pian to thaya. Pian, samay pian. I'm happy. Nariyal pani hoga. Kuraya. Nariyal pani. Ini ke pili wale.
So, the next part,
That is the name I gave paper pen to them. In this situation, they will go next. Maybe I'll give the next part. Maybe I should give. But with monitoring, what if they reach at anything? अकेले बैठी मुझे था ना कान्ना में भी जाना है so you have to be watching.
now we shall know the Vamana story.
डर लग रहा है 3 बार ऐसे ही करी third time she's putting her.
Yes.
Yeah, big.
Now, after Aditi had performed the ritualistic ceremony known as Payovrata. So now we should see what is Payovrata. So what's Payovrata means? Don't take any water, Nirjal.
Okay.
Nirjal for many days she took. Just to get a son which can destroy Bali.
Who can?
Who can destroy Bali. So that same son, so there should be a son who can destroy Bali. And there could be no other son except the Lord. So she started doing a lot of puja to the Lord, and finally the Lord appeared before her because she was Indra's mother, and therefore she was having all the different things that she can get the Lord in her place. So in her hut she was performing a lot of sacrifice and everything, and then she was just keeping quiet and did Nirjala. She started chanting every single stotra. She didn't speak to anybody else. She did so many good things, and now we shall see what she had done according to the shlokas. The Supreme Lord agrees to become Aditi's son.
Chalk, please, you give her 10 chalks every day without fail. 1 hour, half an hour. Please, but don't give colored chalk.
So, suddenly what happened was, the Lord appeared in a sudden form, and Aditi just stood up like that. When she just saw the Lord, she just fell flat like a rod in front of him. And then she said, please be kind to us and spread our good fortune by making you my son. So that's what she said. And then let's see what she Yeah, this is
Thank you.
okay. Shall we continue?
Continue. Start a recording start.
So now we shall continue with the story of Vamana.
Which part you say, which canto?
So honestly,
Once again, which canto? Okay.
so it is 8th canto, part 3. So the Vamana dwarf. So immediately the Lord became a very short person and was a very beautiful person. And then after what happened was, he became a Brahmanical dwarf who was actually very high in age, but a dwarf. And then what he did was, immediately he was just like a theatrical actor. When the great sages saw Vamana, they were very pleased. They immediately saw such a saintly person he likes. Then all the different demigods gave him different things. Whatever he likes, they gave. So then they reached the sacred thread ceremony. So when they put the punal for him, or the sacred thread, they put it for him, and the sun god himself,
Janeyu.
Janvara, they said, that's one. And then also they gave a Kashyapa Muni. So Kashyapa Muni gave initiation, and the sun god himself started Gayatri Mantra for him. And then Brihaspati offered the sacred thread, and Kashyapa Muni offered a straw belt for him to tie. And Aditi gave a loincloth, and the deity presiding over the heavenly kingdom offered him an umbrella. And Mother Saraswati gave a string of Rudraksha beads. Kuvera, the king of the Yakshas, gave a begging pot for him to go and beg for Bali. So one begging pot. And also Kuvera, the king of and Mother Bhagavati, the wife of Lord Shiva, gave him the first alms. She gave him something to eat or like that. Because she's Annadhata. And then Lord Vamanadeva, the best of the Brahmacharis, he got the Brahmanical effulgence and spread all over himself. And because he was the Supreme Lord, he surpassed in beauty the entire assembly. Whoever was there, entire place, he was more beautiful than anybody around that spot. So we shall see the shlokas. यत्तद्वपुर्भाति विभूषणायुधैः अव्यक्तचिद्व्यक्तमधारयद्धरिः बभूव तेनैव स वामनो वटुः सम्पश्यतोर्दिव्यगतिर्यथा नटः. Lord appeared in his original form with ornaments and weapons in his hands. Although his ever-existing form is not visible in the material world, he nonetheless appeared in this form. Then, in the presence of his father and the mother, he assumed the form of Vamana, a Brahmana dwarf, and a Brahmachari, just a theatrical actor. Tamvatum Vamanam Dushtva Modamārāma Harshayah Karmani Karayamasu Puraskritya Prajapatim. So now we shall see the next one. So then he came to Bali Maharaja. He sat on the main seat because at this particular ritual of the Vishwajit Yajna, whatever a person begs for has to be given to that person. If a Brahmana comes and says, I want your entire kingdom, you have to give it up. If a Brahmana comes and says, give me 10 bags of gold, give it up. If a Vaishya comes and says, my business is not flourishing, please give me a new business, give it up. If a Shudra comes and says, this Kshatriya is troubling me, he's not giving me proper money for what I am doing for him, then he has to settle that Kshatriya. The same way for every single caste, he has to help, somehow, do whatever they ask for. And finally, this Brahmana, who was Vamana, came and sat in the seat and asked for 3 steps of land. Bali Maharaj said, oh, you have such small feet, which are just so small, and you're only asking for 3 steps of land. Is that only what you want? Ask for millions of diamonds. I have everything. Ask for 1,000 bags of gold. I have all of these different things. I have everything in the world. Now, the entire world is under my custody. So, you ask for anything you like. Then he said, no, only 3 steps of land I want. How much? Bali Maharaj said, no, I want what I say only. See, I want to give you whatever I like, whatever you like in the most. But still, Vamana said, no. Only this one thing I want, 3 steps of land. Just give me 3 steps of land. Finally, he was adamant and finally Bali Maharaj had to agree. And he asked for 3 steps of land and Shukracharya came there. And he said, hey, you silly fool, you have done such stupid things by allowing him to just take 3 steps of land. This is the imperishable Supreme Lord who has come in this form. Who but a very, very intelligent person, and who will ask for just 3 steps of land? That means he is the Supreme Personality. And even Bali knew that, but he just wanted to give whatever Brahmana asked. So, Shri Shukra Uvacha Esha Vairochane Sakshat Bhagavan Vishnurabhyayah Kashyapadadite Jato Devanam Karya Sadhapah. Shukracharya said, O son of Virochana, this Brahmachari in the form of a dwarf is directly the imperishable Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu. Accepting Kashyapa Muni as his father and Aditi as his mother, he has now appeared in order to fulfill the interests of the demigods. Pratishrutam Swayai Tasmai Yadanartham Ajanata Nasadhu Manye Daityanam Mahanupagato Nayah. You do not know what dangerous position you have accepted in promising to give him land. I do not think this promise is good for you. It will bring great harm to the demons. Eshate sthanam aishwaryam shriyam tejo yashashrutam dasyatya chidya shakraya maya manavako harihi. This person falsely appearing as a brahmachari is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, who has come in the form to take away all your land, wealth, beauty, power, fame and education. After taking everything from you, he will deliver to Indra, your enemy. Tribhikramaye lokan vishwakaya kramishyati sarvaswam vaishnave dattva mudhavattishyate katham. You have promised to give him 3 steps of land in charity, but when you give it, he will occupy the 3 worlds. You are a rascal. You do not know what a great mistake you have made. After giving everything to Lord Vishnu, you will have no means of livelihood. How then will you live? So, afterwards, Bali said, "No, O great sage, great saintly persons like you, being completely aware of the Vedic principles, worship Lord Vishnu in all circumstances. Therefore, whether the same Lord Vishnu has come here to give me all the benedictions or to punish me as an enemy, I must carry out his order and give him the requested tract of land without hesitation." Enraged, Shukracharya said, "Although you have no knowledge, you have become a so-called learned person, and therefore you dare to be so impudent as to disobey my order. Because you have disobeyed me, I curse you to lose all your appearances very soon." Shukracharya has also cursed him, saying that you will lose everything that you have. Vamana has also come to take all of his things. So finally, it all happened. And then, for this to somehow stop, Shukracharya was searching for some other reason how to stop this thing. So, when you are supposed to promise somebody, then you have to pour some water on their legs and wash their feet. So, for the Brahmanas, the kings must wash their feet with some water. So, and then wash their feet, and then only they can ask for what they want. So, when he was about to wash the feet of Vamana, Shukracharya entered in the form of dark dust and got stuck in there with his eye, so that nothing gets inside. And water, how much earth he was trying to pour, water was not coming out. Then Vamana got to know, oh, this is Shukracharya who has come here to stop my promise from being fulfilled. So then he took a needle and just pricked his eye, and suddenly his eye was fully bleeding with blood and he came out screaming, and full blood was flowing from his eyes, and that's why Shukracharya is blind in one eye. As Bali Maharaja and all the members of the assembly watched in stunned amazement, the unlimited supreme personality of Godhead who had assumed the form of Vamana began increasing in size until everything in the universe was within his body, including the earth, the planetary system, the sky, oceans, the birds, beasts, human beings, demigods, and the great saintly persons. So in one step he covered the earth and the down regions. One step. Second step, the heavenly planets. Third step, now the Lord was asking, what will you give me for the third step? Now that he has conquered Bali Maharaja, he sat on the throne and Vamana became the king now of the entire world. And then Varuna bound him with a snake. Varuna bound Bali Maharaja with a snake, and he had to stand like this in front of the Lord. And then Vamana asked him, so now what should I do for the third step? Then he said, keep it all on my own head, because I have nothing else as mine. Only my head and my body I have. So you keep it on my head is what he said. So we should see the shlokas. Ha ha karo mahanasid rodasyo sarvato disham nigrahyamane surapatau Vishnuna prabha Vishnuna tam baddham varunai pashaihi bhagavanah vamanah nashtashriyam sthirapagyam udaresha samrupa padani trini dattani bhumer mahyam tvayasura dvabhyam krantamahi sarva tritiyam upakalpaya यावत्तपत्यसौ गोभिः यावदिन्दुस्सहो दुभिः यावद्वर्षति पर्जन्यः तावती भूरियं तव. As far as the sun and moon shine with the stars, and as far as the clouds pour rain, all the land throughout the universe is in your possession. Padaikena maya kranto bhurlokah khamdishastanoh Swarlokaste dvitiyena pashyataste swam atmana. Of these positions, with one step I have occupied Bhurloka, and with my body I have occupied the entire sky in all directions. And you're present with my second step I have occupied the upper planetary system. Pratishutama adatuste niraye vasa ishyate vishatvam nirayam tasmat guruna chanumoditah. Because you have been unable to give charity according to your promise, the rule is that you should go down to live in the hellish planets. Therefore, in accordance with the order of Shukracharya, your spiritual master, now go down and live there. विप्रलब्धो ददामीति त्वयाहं चाढ्यमानिना तद्व्यलीकफलं भुङ्क्ष्व निरयं कतिचित् समा. Being falsely proud of your possessions, you promised to give me land, but could not fulfill your promise. Therefore, because of your promise was false, you must live for a few years in hellish life, is what Vamana said. So then, Bali Maharaja surrenders his life, saying, Shri Baliruvacha yadyuttama shloka bhavan mamerikam vacho vyalekam suravaryam manyate karom mriyatam tanna bhavet pralambharam padam tritiyam kurushishni me nijam. O best personality of Godhead, most worshipable for all the demigods, if you think that my promise has become false, I shall certainly rectify matters to make it truthful. I cannot allow my promise to be false. Please, therefore, place your third lotus footstep on my head. So this is what he said. And then now once, millions of years ago, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared in the form of a fish and warned the pious king Satyavrata of an impending inundation. That means a huge destruction. So after receiving instructions from Lord Matsya, King Satyavrata spread a mat of kushagra, sat down and meditated on the Lord for 7 days. Thereafter, gigantic clouds pouring incessant water swelled the ocean more and more. Thus the ocean began to overflow into the land and inundate the entire world. Just then, the Lord had predicted when the world was flooded by devastating water and a magnificent boat mysteriously appeared before King Satyavrata and the 7 great sages. So only the good people were allowed to go back to the Lord. All the bad people were all finished in that thing. And all of the 7 great sages sat on Kurma Avtara and went. And they just went on rock, and the huge boat came in front of them, a mysterious boat. They sat in that boat, which was driven by the Lord Fish. And King Satyavrata actually had found one small fish in water, in a lake. He took that fish and he put it in a small fish holder. That fish became too big and said, please give me another place. Then he removed it and put it in another spot. When it was inside that spot, it grew that also and said, please give me another spot. Again, he put in the well. The well became off-sided with the fish and said, please give me another spot. Took it and put it in the lake. The lake became fully big with that much big fish. Took him from there with the help of many people and put him in an ocean. Ocean itself became filled with that one fish. Now he could not do anything and he prayed to the Lord, where else should I put you? And how will I even carry such a huge ocean even with the help of the entire world? He's a king, Satyavrata. He has all the people in the world. But who will be able to lift the Supreme Lord itself? So the Lord came in the form of himself, and then he said, then that now I shall show you my real form. That's what I am. So you have to get inside one huge boat that I send. Inside that boat, take all the pious people of the world, the good people of the world, take them, and then only and then take them inside the boat. I'll take care of the rest. I'll take you to a safer place, and the rest of the world will be restored. While King Satyavrata constantly meditated upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a large golden fish with one horn appeared in the ocean of inundation. Following the instructions that the Supreme Lord had previously imparted to him, the king anchored the boat to the fish's horn using the serpent Vasuki as a rope. O Supreme Lord, for self-realization I surrender unto you who, are worshipped by the demigods as the supreme controller of everything. By your instructions, exposing life's purpose, kindly cut the knot from the core of my heart and let me know the destination of life. When King Satyavrata has thus prayed to the personality of Godhead who had assumed the form of fish, the Lord, while moving in the water of inundation, explained to him the absolute truth. So, we have finished the 8th canto. Now we shall begin with the 9th canto, part 1.
Okay.
Can I start? Yeah. Sorry. So, this time, Ambarisha, the very great king, along with his wife, wanted to purify themselves and become devoted to the Lord. So, King Ambarisha, along with his wife, started a yajna of, no, not a yajna, Ekadashi and Dwadashi for 1 full year. 1 full year they'll observe Ekadashi and Dwadashi. So first Ekadashi they wanted to do, and next Dwadashi in the morning they'll get up and they'll take food. Exactly in a particular moment. So at this time we'll see the shlokas and then we'll tell the story. आरीराधयिषु कृष्णं महिष्या तुल्यशीलया युक्तः संवत्सरं वीरः दधार द्वादशी व्रतम्. To worship Lord Krishna, Maharaja Ambarisha along with his queen, who was equally qualified, observed the vow of Ekadashi and Dwadashi for 1 year. व्रतान्ते कार्तिके मासी त्रिरात्रं समुपोषितः स्नातः कदाचित् कालिन्द्यां हरिर्मधुवनेऽर्चयत्. In the month of Kartika, after observing the vow of 1 year, after observing the fast for 3 nights and after bathing in the Yamuna, Maharaja Ambarisha worshipped the supreme godhead of the supreme godhead Hari in Madhuvana. महाभिषेक विधिना सर्वोपस्कर संपदा अभिषिच्याम्बराकल्पैः गन्धमाल्यार्हणादिभिः तद्गतान्तर भावेन पूजयाम् आस केशवं ब्राह्मणांश्च महाभागान् सिद्धार्थानपि भक्तितः. Following the regulated principles of Mahabhisheka, Maharaja Ambarisha performed the bathing ceremony for the deity of Lord Krishna with all paraphernalia, and then he addressed the deity with their fine clothing, ornaments, fragrant flower garlands and other paraphernalia for worship of the god. With attention and devotion, he worshipped Krishna and all the greatly fortunate Brahmanas who were free from material desire. So all of these things were done, and finally, the fast was also done for 1 year. They finished the fast, and at the last date, they had to exactly take the food or water. They had to take a sip of water to break the fast. But because nobody was, because Durvasa Muni had not come at that moment, he could not break the fast. But that moment was also going. Moment and Durvasa, he was thinking, what to do. If that moment goes, then Lord will punish him. If Durvasa goes, then Durvasa will curse him. So he was stuck. What should I do now? So Durvasa had gone for eating food. Nicely wanted to have food, and then only he wanted to come back. And then only he wanted to eat food. So he took bath. He wanted to go and have a nice bath and come. Long time he took bath. The moment was about to pass. The whole week was about to pass. And he still not come. So Ambarisha took back water. He took the water. And then Durvasa said, because you... Then immediately when Durvasa came, Durvasa means the one who has a dirty cloth. So he came immediately and said, "How dare you break the fast without calling a qualified Brahmana? Even though I was there, you did not wait for me." The Ambarisha was about to say, "No. The Lord's moment is going." "What Lord? I am the Brahmana and you have not observed the spiritual things, so now I shall curse you." Then he removed one part of his hair like this and he hit it towards the ground. From there came a horrible fire demon, as you can see in this. And he started vomiting fire upon Ambarisha. But immediately when the Lord saw that this was happening, he sent the Sudarshana Chakra from the sky. That Sudarshana Chakra went and immediately cut off that fire demon and put it to ashes. Fire itself was turned into ashes. Then that Sudarshana Chakra went and followed Durvasa this time. Durvasa was suddenly shocked. He ran all sides, in all directions, in the sky, on the surface of the earth, in the caves, in the ocean, on different planets of the rulers of the three worlds, even on the heavenly planets. But wherever he went, he immediately saw following him the unbearable fire of the Sudarshan Chakra. It was just continuously going all around the world. Wherever Durvasa went, whether he went up or down or this side, wherever he went, that flame was always following him. So that's why, whenever a person troubles a devotee, that's what happens to him. Then finally he went to Vishnu. Vishnu was also upset with him. But he outwardly smiled and said, "Yes, Durvasa, what has happened?" The chakra came behind him. And then he said, "The chakra is following me, you are the lord of the chakra, so you remove the chakra." "No, I don't have the power to remove the chakra. The chakra came to protect Ambarisha. So you go and beg Ambarisha for it to stop." Then he went to Ambarisha. He begged Ambarisha, please stop the chakra from going towards him. Then Ambarisha said, "O chakra, who is the eternal entity, who is the best friend of Vishnu, please do not harm this great devotee, Durvasa. Please leave him alone. He is being tortured by the flames of the chakra. So you please leave him alone," is what he prayed. So we shall see the shlokas. श्रीशुक उवाच एवं भगवतादिष्टः दुर्वासश्चक्रतापितः अम्बरीषमुपावृत्य तत्पादौ दुःखितो ग्रहीत. When thus advised by Lord Vishnu, Durvasa Muni was very much harassed by the Sudarshan Chakra. Immediately approached Maharaja Ambarisha. Being very much aggrieved, the Muni fell down and clasped the king's lotus feet. Tasya sodyamavikshya padasparsha vilajjitah astavi tadharerastram kripaya pidito bhrisham. When Durvasa touched his lotus feet, Maharaja Ambarisha, very much ashamed, when he saw Durvasa attempting to offer prayers because of mercy, he was aggrieved even more. Thus he immediately began offering prayers to the great weapon of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ambarisha uvacha tvamagdir bhagavan suryah tvam somo jyotisham patihi tvamapastvam kshritir vyoma vayurmatrendriyani cha sudarshana namastubhyam सहस्राच्युत प्रिय सर्वास्त्र घति विप्राय स्वस्ति भूय इलष्पते. Kindly give shelter auspicious and be auspicious to this Brahmana, is what he said. A small break. By performing very severe austerities, now King Bhagavata received the benediction from Mother Ganga for her to come down to earth. So we well know the story because it's a very great story, and we shall check the shlokas of these. श्रीशुक उवाच अंशुमांश्च तपस्तेपे गंगानयनकाम्यय कालं महान्तं नाशक्नोत् ततः कालेन संस्थितः. Shukadeva Goswami continued, King Amshuman, like his grandfather, performed austerities for a very long time. Then he could not bring the Gangas to this material world, and thereafter in due course of time he died. So first, Anshuman, he didn't acquire the benediction from Ganga because he didn't have the duration of life to do that. Dilipastatsutah tadvat ashaktah kalame ivan bhagiratastasya sutah tepe sasumahattapah. Like Anshuman himself, Dilipa's son was unable to bring the Gangas to the material world. And he also became a victim of death in the course of time. Dilipa's son Bhagiratha performed severe austerities to bring Gangas to this material world. So, this is the part in which Dilipa's son, who was Bhagiratha, starts to pray a lot and do a lot of severe austerities to somehow bring Ganga. Darshayama satam devi prasanna varadasmite ityukta swamabhiprayam shashamsa varato nripah. Thereafter, Mother Gangas appeared before King Bhagiratha and said, I am very much satisfied with your austerities and am now prepared to give you benedictions as you desire. Being thus addressed by Ganga Devi, Mother Ganga, the king bowed his head before her and explained his desire. So, kopi dharayita vedam atantyameva hitale anyatha bhutaram bhiktva nripayasyera sakalam. Mother Ganga replied, when I fall from the sky to the surface of the planet Earth, the water will certainly be very forceful. So it will just drill through the earth and it will just fall down to Rasatala. There are many demons inside, so they should not get the appearance of the Ganga. Otherwise, they use the Ganga for a bad thing. So they should not get the Ganga water. So Ganga waters came down, and now Kimchaham nabhum yasye naramayyam rajantyagam mrajamidalagham twaham rajam statra vichintyatam. O king, I do not wish to go down to the planet Earth, for their people in general will bathe in the water to cleanse themselves of the reactions of the sinful genes. When all these sinful reactions accumulate in me, how shall I become free of them? You must consider this very carefully. Shri Bhagiratha uvacha sadhavonyasina shanta brahmishtha loka pavana harantyagam tenga sangat teshwaste bhidharihi. Bhagiratha said, those who are saintly because of their devotional service and therefore are in the renounced order, free from material desires, and who are pure devotees, expert in following the regulative principles mentioned in the Vedas, and are always glorious and pure in behavior, and are able to deliver all fallen souls. When such pure devotees bathe in your water, the sinful reactions accumulated from other people will certainly be counteracted. For such devotees, always keep in the core of their hearts the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can vanquish all sinful reactions. So, Dharayishyati te vegam rudrastvatma sharirinam yasminnotam vidam protam vishwam shativa tantushu. Like a cloth woven of threads extending for its length and breadth, the entire universe in its all latitude and longitude is situated under different potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva is the incarnation of the Lord, and thus he represents the super soul in the embodied soul. He can sustain your forceful waves on his head. So Shiva can sustain the forceful waves is what Bhagavata is saying. And next we shall see Rama and Sita's pastimes on earth. Now, so finally that water came, and it was used for the purpose of bringing back all the different good people back as the water, the pure water, as it flows down from heavens. It falls on all those burnt kings of the 60,000 kings, were the 60,000 sons of one king, Sagara. There was a king called Sagara, and there were 60,000 kings for that one king. 60,000 children. So it is not possible in the Kali Yuga, but it's at least possible to have 10 or 11 children in the Kali Yuga. But nowadays, because of vaccines and so many other different disasters, many people are dying because of it, and nobody is getting children. Terrorist vaccines cause sterility. So, 60,000 children for just one person, that is Sagara. And this one person, Sagara, had 60,000 children, but they were all very bad children, arrogant children and evil children. So they all went all over the world terrorizing people. And when King Sagara performed his sacrifice, Indra stole one horse of Sagara. There were supposed to be sacrificed 100 horses in that sacrifice. He was doing an Ashwamedha Yajna. In that 100 horses are supposed to be sacrificed and turned into humans. So in that sacrifice, when he's turning into humans, then he has to require a lot of wealth. And he'll get the position equal to Indra when he does this. But Indra got to know, oh, now he's trying to acquire my position. So he immediately got one servant. Oh, okay, now I'll do something. So he stole the last horse. The 100th horse he stole. 99 horses were sacrificed. 100th one couldn't be sacrificed because he had stolen. So then Indra went and tied it to the house of Kapila Muni. Kashyapa Muni. So after this, what happened was, Kapila Muni's house, he tied it to that house, and then all the 60,000 sons went to search. Finally, they found Kapila Muni was having the horse in his place. They thought, oh, Kapila Muni has only done this. Kill him, grab him. They started shouting all this. Kapila Muni opened his eyes. How dare they insult such a great rishi like me? Immediately, he used his glance to burn all of them to ashes. 60,000 children at one shot were burnt to ashes and were lying as ashes in the floor. When they were burnt and were therefore lying in ashes, nobody was there to protect them. And Kapila started doing his penance again because all his different powers that he had taken to do penance were now burnt off with ashes because of his magnanimous power. And now again he had to start doing penance to get all of that back. And then to get these 60,000 children back of Sagara, some of the thing has to be done. So first Amshuman tried how to get. Sagara died. Then Amshuman tried to do it.
Who is Anshuman?
Amshuman is son of Sagara. So he tried to do a penance to get Ganga, but he also died. Third thing, after Amshuman, one more king came, Dilipa, the son of Amshuman. He also died because he also couldn't bring Ganga. Fourth thing is that Dilipa's son, Bhagiratha came. He came, he did a long penance, and finally he got Ganga. That's why whenever a person does a very great thing, then he gets the name called Bhagirata Prayatna. Like if a person does a very great thing which is helpful for everybody around the world, then he gets the name called Bhagirata Prayatna. So in the modern day, nobody has done such a great thing because half of them don't do it for the purpose of good of people, and the other half are always for material things. They'll think of what to do. Third little part of people, they'll always be thinking of some of the other fame or name. But Bhagirata was not like this. So it's rare to find a person who has done a Bhagirata Prayatna. So now तस्यापि भगवानेश साक्षात् ब्रह्ममयो हरिः अंशांशेन चतुर्धागात् पुत्रत्वं प्रार्थितसुरैः रामलक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न इति संज्ञया. Being prayed for by the demigods, the supreme personality of Godhead, the absolute truth himself directly appeared with his expansion and expansions of the expansion. Their holy names were Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna. So Rama was the original cause, Lakshmana was a part of Rama, Bharata was a part of Lakshmana, and Shatrughna was a part of Bharata. So like that, little. So Rama was the most powerful, Lakshmana was a little less powerful. He was also very powerful, little less powerful. Bharata was little more less powerful than Lakshmana, and Shatrughna was the youngest and little less than Bharata. So therefore, now we shall see the activities of Rama. The entire story of the Ramayana is given in this one shloka. Gurvardhe tyaktarajyo vyacharanuvanam padmapadhyam priyayah पाणिस्पर्शा क्षमाभ्याम मृजितपथ रुजो यो हरीन्द्रवत् Chandranujabhyam Vairupya Churpanakhyah Priya Virah Rusharopita Bhruvijrambha Trastabhir Baddhasetu Khalad Davadahana Kosalendrovatanah. Let that Rama give us protection, who, to keep up the promise of his father intact, Lord Ramachandra immediately gave up the position of the king and, accompanied by his wife, Mother Sita, wandered from one forest to another on his lotus feet, which were so delicate that they were unable to bear even the touch of Sita's palms. The Lord was also accompanied by Hanuman, or by another monkey, Sugriva, the king of monkeys, and by his own younger brother, Lord Lakshmana, both of whom gave relief from the fatigue of wandering in the forest. Having cut off the nose and ears of Shurpanakha, thus disfiguring her, the Lord was separated from Mother Sita. He therefore became angry, moving his eyebrows and thus frightening the ocean, who then allowed the Lord to construct a bridge to cross the ocean. Subsequently, the Lord entered the kingdom of Ravana to kill him, and like a fire devouring a forest. May the Lord Supreme Supreme, who destroyed Ravana, Ramachandra, give us all protection. That's what he, in this big shloka, is giving the entire meaning of the entire Bhagavatam, and is totally filled with so much meanings. So now, Ramachandra's form is like this, in which he himself doesn't know that he is the Lord. Krishna's form is like this, that he knows he is the Lord. So Ramachandra's form could not give a explanation to the people that he was the Lord. Still, his activities give the explanation that he was Lord, but he himself did not give the thing that he was the Lord. So that was the special thing in Rama. And then, now we finished the story of Rama. And in the assembly where Mother Sita was to choose her husband, in the midst of the heroes of this world, Lord Ramachandra broke the bow belonging to Lord Shiva. This bow was so heavy that it was carried by 300 men. But the Lord bent it, strung it, and broke it in the middle, just as a baby elephant breaks a stick of sugar cane. So baby elephant will go in the forest, search for a long stick. See, a baby elephant is as heavy as 120 kilos. So with that much weight, it goes and breaks one stick of sugarcane and starts munching it with its mouth. So in the same way, Rama, who was so small compared to a baby elephant, destroyed and broke the entire huge bow which was carried by 300 men. So baby elephant lifting up a long sugarcane stick is what is given as the example here. So the personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra, being aggrieved for his kidnapped wife Sita, glanced toward the city of Ravana with red hot eyes. Then the great ocean, trembling in fear, gave him his way. Because of its family members, the aquatics like the sharks, snakes and crocodiles were being burned. Because the Lord's fiery eyes were getting so angry, and he lifted up the Brahmastra to destroy the ocean so that he can make a long thing without the ocean's water. And the ocean is getting very scared. Oh, my relatives are all living in this place, and then so that if the entire ocean gets burnt, and then including me, if everybody gets burnt, then what will I do? In that thing, he was getting so angry. So finally, the Lord Varuna, he allowed some way to for the Lord to build an ocean, a long bridge over the ocean. After killing the demon Ravana and rescuing Mother Sita, Lord Ramachandra returned to his capital Ayodhya. He was greeted on the road by the princely order, who showered his body with beautiful fragrant flowers, while great personalities like Brahma and other demigods glorified his activities with great jubilation. When the Lord's brother Bharata understood that Lord Ramachandra was returning to Ayodhya, he immediately took upon his own head Lord Ramachandra's wooden shoes and came out from his camp at Nandigrama. So, Bharata was living at Nandigrama for the entire life until Rama came back from his 14 years of troubles and all of that. So when he came back, Bharata ran with the 2 sandals of the Lord on his head, which were golden sandals, and rushed at the forward from Nandigrama and started going down to the Lord. Lord Ramachandra's ancestral palace, which he occupied with his consort Sita Devi, was full of various treasures and valuable wardrobes. The sitting places on the 2 sides of the entrance door were made of coral. Coral is a gem. And the yards were surrounded by pillars of Vaidurya Mani, or the Ketu gem, which is cat-eye gem, which keeps changing its colors and all of that. That gem is now, if you buy 1 gram of the gem, it's worth 2,100 rupees. See the inflation in the modern world. It keeps going up and up and up and up and up and keeps increasing, while the total palace and the down parts, everything, and the doors made by this 1 coral gem. And if you want the real Vaidurya Mani, it is costing more than 21,000 for just 7 grams. So it's like this. And the floor was made of highly polished emeralds, and the foundation was made of marble. The entire palace was decorated with flags and garlands and bedecked with valuable stones shining with a celestial effulgence. In addition, the palace was fully decorated with pearls and surrounded by lamps and incense. Sitting upon a magnificent throne, Lord Ramachandra would receive the citizens of Ayodhya. Not having seen the Lord for a very long time, they would eagerly approach him with the paraphernalia of worship and pray. O Lord, as you have rescued the earth from the bottom of the sea, and in your incarnation as a bow, may you now maintain it. Thus we beg your blessings, is what everybody was saying. So, now we shall see Parashurama's story. अचोदयद्धस्त्यथाश्वपत्तिभिः गदासि बाणाष्टिशतघ्निशक्तिभिः अक्षौहिणी सप्तदशातिभीषणः ताराम एको भगवान् सूदयत्. Now we should know what's an akshauhini. 21,870 chariots and elephants, 1,09,350 infantry soldiers, and 65,610 horses. So, these are the number of 1 akshauhini. But 17 full akshauhinis, that means 17 times the same explanation given here, was sent by this one king Kartaviryaarjuna against Parashurama. Now we come to Parashurama's story, in which Parashurama was attacked by 17 akshauhinis. As we saw the description of 1 akshauhini. 17 akshauhinis were walking in the front, and Lord Parashurama with his just 1 axe, chopper and many arrows killed all of these different soldiers, horses, elephants and chariots in 1 shot. And all of these chariots, elephants were just killed, and all these people were just lying and blood was flowing like an ocean of blood all around. Why was this done to Kartaviryaarjuna? Because he was very proud of his appearances. He started being bad to Brahmanas, started killing people just like that. Whenever he came, he used to kill people, like, make way for me. Whatever, now the government, see what the governments are doing. Wherever side some people are trying to sell some fruits or vegetables or something, they just come and knock off these places. You may have seen in the roads, they may be selling some small shops like fruits, vegetables. Maybe last will be idli or chutney or something like that. They're small scale businesses. What these people will do is, the government just come and just break it open. All of these different things will tear and fall down. So this is what they were doing in the previous times. Kartaviryaarjuna was breaking down all of those people, cutting down all of those places and then moving forward. Therefore, Parashurama came, and then what he did was he started cutting down all of the different Kshatriyas who were torturing people and destroying all of them just because they were torturing the people. And they were not at all being good. And the soldiers of this Kartavi Rajana were equipped with clubs, swords, arrows, rishtis, shatagnis. Shatagnis means those who give out thousands of flames of fire, shaktis, and many similar weapons to fight against him. Kartavi Rajana sent 17 full Akshavanis of soldiers to check Parashurama, but Lord Parashurama alone killed all of them. Then Kartavi Rajana rushed to kill Parashurama. So let's see what he did. Atharjuna Panchashateshu Bahubhihi Dharushubhahan Yugavatsa Sandhade Ramaya Ramostra Bhritam Samagranihi Tanyeka Dhanveshubhi Rachinat Samam. So Kartavi Rajana had 1,000 hands. With each hand, with 2 hands he held one bow, and 500 bows is what he held. With 500 bows at the same time, he was sending thousands of arrows towards Parashurama, and Parashurama was being shot with each one of these arrows. He just cut these arrows into pieces with his own arrow. Same arrows of the Lord were sent, cut down all of these arrows of Kartavi Rajana, and plus sent more arrows to cut off Kartavi Rajana's hands too. So all the 1,000 hands were cut off and he didn't have any hand now, and one arrow was left. And one more arrow that he sent, a fiery arrow, cut off the head of Kartavi Rajana and sent it back to become Sudarshan Chakra. Kartavi Rajana was actually a form of the Sudarshan Chakra of the Lord. Because the Sudarshan Chakra had become arrogant, that's why the Sudarshan Chakra was being made into Kartavi Rajana. So when Parashurama killed, so how did Parashurama get his chopper? That's a very effective thing. Was because he was learning a lot from Shiva. So Shiva finally gave him that. So then Parashurama said, then Parashurama's father said, Jamadagni, when he heard that Parashurama has killed the king, Rama Rama Mahabahu Bhavan Papamakar Avadhinana Devam Yat Sarvadevamayam Vritha Vayam hi Brahmanastat Chamayarhana Tam Gataha Yaya Loga Gurudevah Parameshyam Agat Padam. That's why. So that's why kings who are evil must be killed, but still must not be killed in such a rapt way, is what Jamadagni is saying. But actually, according to the Bhagavatam, these kings were supposed to be killed as because of their behavior towards the citizens. Now, we shall see what Jamadagni, what kind of an anger Jamadagni had. So,
But then how to do it in Kali Yuga? As you say, it's not supposed to be done. How to get rid of a bad person who is ruling us?
Just don't listen to whatever they say. The entire citizens of this world must revoke against that government. Their government is worthy nothing but their name. That's all. The government will not have any other position of power except for their name. Like Narendra Modi, that's all he'll have, his own name. He won't have any power over the citizens of what he's doing. People across the world, not only any big prime minister or a president, they're becoming evil day by day. Some of them don't understand they're doing evil. Some of them know that they're doing evil and still they're doing evil. So, Kartavi Rajana was one of them. And therefore, we have to all revoke against them because we have no Brahmanas.
Revolt, you mean?
Yeah, just
Was
revoke and
Kartavi
revolt.
Rajana doing it with knowing or without knowing?
With no. He was a horrible king.
But then if you answer back and do whatever they have put a law, and if you go against the law, we'll be behind bars. I mean, you can't do that.
Yeah, so who puts us behind bars? Narendra Modi will itself bring us and put us inside the law.
No, he'll not put, but other people will.
Other people will.
Yeah.
So if those people also revolt against the government, then what will be
If it's a single person and there are quantities were called as more. We are just single person. We can't fight everybody, single-handed.
Not like who. So we all can easily fight one prime minister.
If actually all are there, If one person raises the voice, there is no any. This
Not raising a voice against everybody. Spreading awareness. Everywhere awareness goes. One entire group of people will be under.
But nowadays, no one is coming forward the time.
Nowadays, because they are blinded by
whole tribe wants to get trapped in that situation. They are moving away. Though they know they are doing wrong thing, still they are not coming for help.
Yeah, that is because of people who do not follow the scriptural injunctions. They do not do anything according to the scriptural injunctions. They just are like beka bitti kaise, You want, you do. Just leave it.
So that is what we should do. When we
So we must change our attitude of that. Just leave it now, like that.
Okay.
We must get up against it. Spread awareness.
Then whatever it is, we ourselves have to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
You said Kartavya Arjuna was just a form of Sudarshan Chakra, but how can he behave like that because just because Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Shri Krishna, Lord Shri Krishna is good, so Sudarshan Chakra also has to be present.
He was arrogant at that time, full of pride. So he was blinded by pride and therefore he became bad.
Then why did Vishnu take Kartavya Arjuna as a Sudarshan Chakra?
Before he was Sudarshan Chakra, and so his Sudarshan Chakra was very humble at that time. Later he started getting that, I am that person who is being used for all of the killing of all of these demons. So whatever the Lord is killing any demon, it's because of me. So I am the person who is killing all the demons. How is this Lord taking all the credit is what he was thinking. Day by day he was thinking this. So he was sent to the earth. I can also kill you. See, I can also kill you. And I can kill other demons also without you also. I need not have you also without you. I am not depending upon you.
But for something to be operated, you need an operator, which that thing forgot.
Yeah, Sudarshan Chakra. He's not a thing, but he was the snake, Sankarshana. He split himself into one chakra plus the snake. So the Lord lies on the snake plus he holds the Sudarshan Chakra. Two things. So in one way he is helping Sudarshan Chakra by holding him or supporting him. Otherwise Sudarshan Chakra will be floating in the space.
So you mean Sudarshan Chakra is God?
He's a partial expansion of God. Like Balarama. Balarama is a form of Sudarshan Chakra.
Even the snake that Krishna lies on is also Krishna.
He also a plenary expansion of Krishna, like Balarama. So Lakshmana came in the form of Balarama, and all the brothers of Parashurama came in the form of Balarama, and Varaha's brother, or Hiranyakashipu, or Narasimha, like that. Every single brother. Every time when the Lord comes, his snake also comes along with him because the snake can't live without the Lord. That snake who gives shelter, like that, a sleeping place for the Lord, a bed for the Lord.
Why can he not?
Because he loves the Lord always, so he wants to be the Lord every time. So once the snake felt very jealous of the Lord. Why always should I be smaller than you? Like Rama, so Lakshmana was smaller than Rama. She said, this time at least I want to be elder. That's why Balarama became elder to Krishna. So now, once Renuka was sent to fill water and come. She was the wife of Jamadagni. But then she saw one Gandharva, very beautiful Gandharva going around there. The Gandharva was mind controlling her. Therefore she spent time with that Gandharva and she didn't even come back filling water. So she was committing adultery there. And therefore that Gandharva was just enjoying with her a lot of time. She forgot to bring. Suddenly she remembered, like that. Because the Gandharva, like I told her, that who yesterday. कदाचिद् रेणुकायात गंगायां पद्ममालिनं गंधर्वराजं क्रीडन्तं अप्सरोभिरपश्यत. Once when Renuka, the wife of Jamadagni, went to the bank of Gangas to get water, she saw the king of Gandharvas decorated with a garland of lotuses and sporting in the Gangas with celestial women.
Why did she want to get water?
So, because water is necessary for bath, all of that. So she had to go and get water. And Parashurama was in the forest cutting firewood at the same time. And Jamadagni was doing this yajna. So water is needed for heating water for bath of Jamadagni. And firewood is needed for the beginning of the yajna, Agnihotra yajna. And Renuka was needed to go get the water for the bath of Jamadagni, and Jamadagni was readying all the ghee this thing for the Agnihotra. So when she went, at that time this Gandharva was sitting there with all the apsaras around him. And then when he was sitting there, Vilokayanti Kridantam Udakartham Nadingata Homa Vedamna Samsara Kinchit Chitraratha Spraha. Chitraratha was that king of the Gandharvas. Ha ha, hu, now Chitrartha, then Chitraketu, many others like this, and then thousands of Gandharvas are there. So there Chitrartha was standing there, and Alatyayam tam vilokya munes shapa vishankita agatya kalasham tasthau purodhaya kritanjalihi. Later, understanding that the time for offering the sacrifice had passed, Renuka feared a curse from her husband. Therefore, when she returned, she simply put the water pot before him and stood there with folded hands. Vyabhicharam munirjnatva patnyah prakupito bravit ghnatainam putraka papam ityuktaste nachakrire. So, the great sage Jamadagni understood the adultery in the mind of his wife. Therefore, he was very angry and told his sons, "My dear sons, kill this sinful woman." So, all of his sons were getting very scared. How to kill our own mother? So, they were hesitating for some time. Jamadagni is very hard, like his anger suddenly. Then he said, "Now you also are finished." He said to Parashurama, "Now you kill your mother and your brothers." In the following shloka, I said, Rava sanchodita pitra bhartrun matra sahavadhit prabhava gyomune sanyak samadhes tapasascha saha. So, Jamadagni then ordered his youngest son Parashurama to kill his brothers who had disobeyed his order and his mother who had mentally committed adultery. Lord Parashurama, knowing the power of his father, who was practiced in meditation and austerity, killed his mother and his brothers immediately. So he chopped them off and blood was all around them. So mother and brother were killed. After some time, because you have obeyed my orders, now ask for a boon. Then he said, "Fine, you make my brother and my mothers alive." Then brother and mother got alive. He killed them and also made them alive. So he didn't get any sin for that because he also obeyed his father's orders.
But what is the purpose of doing this?
It's a purpose because
Why kill, then why again?
Because Jamadagni is his father's order, so whatever father says has to be obeyed.
Yeah, but what is the purpose, I'm asking?
Because Renuka had committed adultery, mentally committed adultery, that's why.
Only mentally, no, not really, no. So
but that time
But that time the sin were very great.
It was
a small
supposed
sin also was
not
considered
even-
a big
It was not supposed to be even on this
Thought
also
of-
thought also must not have come. And Jamadagni was on his part also, it was kind of a problem because he could have just scolded but not said like that. So that's why. But actually he also did it for a good purpose. As a person who gets that thought immediately must be killed. So that all the sinful reaction, they are punished for that. And they need not be punished in the next life for the same thought.
what is the significance of all this in today's day?
Yeah, because of the TV I told. TV keeps saying all of this, and that's why punishments are not there in modern day. Nobody is qualified to give such punishments because the government nowadays does not even allow any punishments for such people. But still, the Lord itself, himself will punish him, and that no government can stop him at that time. So, now. Then he killed all the different Kshatriyas 21 times after this. After this, Parashurama went all around the world, killed all the Kshatriyas. 21 times he went, swiped all around the world, globe. Finish, everywhere. Even the good kings he killed, even the bad kings he killed. Everybody was killed in his avatar. So in astrology, the sun is known to be Rama, moon is known to be Krishna, and Mars is known to be Parashurama, and Mars is known to be Hiranyakashipu, like that. And Rahu is known to be Varaha, Ketu is known to be Ketu is going to be another Kurma. So it's like that. Okay. Now we shall see another story of the moon god who took away Brihaspati's wife Tara. After conquering the three worlds, the upper, middle and the lower planetary system, Soma, the moon god, performed a great sacrifice known as the Rajasuya Yajna. He performed one very great sacrifice and then he was puffed up with ego, pride and all of those false ego, everything. So, because he was very much puffed up, he forcibly kidnapped Brihaspati's wife whose name was Tara. Although requested again and again by Brihaspati, the spiritual master of the demigods, Soma did not return Tara. This was due to his false pride. Consequently, a fight ensued between the demigods and the demons. Just because of this one thing, Brihaspati's wife was kidnapped by Soma. Soma took the support of the demons to fight against the demigods. Indra joined the demigods and Soma joined the demons. And Shukracharya too. So, Shukra took the side of the moon god. So he allowed the moon god because there is natural enmity just between Brihaspati and Shukra. So Shukra is always against Brihaspati, Brihaspati always against Shukra. But now that Soma had kidnapped Brihaspati's wife, so Shukra came and joined Soma. Like Brihaspati is being troubled now, so let me join his side, Soma's side. All the demons also joined Soma's side and the demigods joined Brihaspati's side because they are disciples of Brihaspati. This one Soma only was very angry. King Indra also joined the Brihaspati side. There was a huge fight and at the end of the fight, even though Soma won the fight because he had the support of Shukracharya and all the demons who were most powerful. So, nobody won actually. In the end, the demons and demigods both were just slaughtered and killed. And then Lord Brahma was fully informed that this all has happened. Then he returned Tara to Brihaspati, but then she was pregnant already. So then what happened was, so now we should see. So now Brihaspati and Soma are fighting for that one child. And then Lord Brahma asked her, whose child is this? Then then she said it's Soma's child. Then Soma came there and took that child away. Till now also, Mercury, who was the son of Soma and Tara, due to adultery and all of that.
That is Buddha.
Yeah, that is Buddha or Mercury. So this Mercury, who was always having enmity with his father because his father was so evil and he did all of this just because of his ego. Till now also, in the planetary systems, whenever Moon and Mercury are in one place, people become mental case. So, they become mental cases. Till now, when anybody has Moon and Mercury in one spot. Sun and Mercury in one spot becomes intelligent.
Mercury added in our food. Yes, connection with that.
No, that is
In the food system, that's why it affects the nervous system, no, probably.
Huh?
Whenever Mercury is added in
Mercury is a form of that god Mercury. He has created that each one has a different metal. Sun has copper, Mercury has this metal mercury. So when it's added in food, that metal mercury is kind of different, but it destroys the nervous system. That's one fact. So now, so then Kumaro Matarampraha Kupitoli Kalajaya Kinnavachasya Sadvrte Atma Vadyam Vadashume. The child then became very angry and demanded that his mother immediately tell the truth. When chased woman, he said, "What is the use of your unnecessary shame? Why don't you admit your fault? Immediately tell me about your faulty behavior," is what he said. So we end with this part.
we can have a lunch break and then continue.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
So many things because every human must know that such a thing is wrong. That's why it's given. In the 9th canto, we are reaching the end part, in which also we find many stories like that. And the stories of Krishna and also his peacock, all of that will also come here. Kunti Devi's story will also come. So we shall begin with the third part of the 9th canto, Now we shall see the part where Sharmishtha and Devayani's story. So one day Vrishaparva's daughter Sharmishtha, who was innocent but angry by nature, was walking in the palace garden with Shukracharya's daughter Devayani and thousands of other friends. So they were all walking in the palace garden enjoying that spot in the lake, and they were bathing there. And Devayani and Sharmishtha were also bathing there. And Devayani was the daughter of Shukracharya, Sharmishtha of Vrishaparva. So they both were bathing there, and suddenly Shiva and Parvati were going on the side. So immediately they have to dress up. So they can't stand just like that in front of Shiva and Parvati. So they wore their dresses. But Sharmishtha took away Devayani's dress. They exchanged. And therefore Devayani got very angry with Sharmishtha. And then she said, "Oh, just see the activities of this servant maid Sharmishtha. Disregarding all etiquette, she has put on my dress just like a dog snatching clarified butter meant for use in a sacrifice," is what she said. So the shlokas are as follows.
First shloka.
ताजलाशयमासाद्य कन्याः कमललोचनाः तीरे यस्यस्य दुःखूलानि विजह्रुः सिञ्चतिर्मिराः वीक्ष्य व्रजन्तं गिरिशम् सह देव्या वृषस्थितं सहसोत्तीर्य आसांसि पर्यधुर्व्रीडिता स्त्रियः शर्मिष्ठा जानाति वासः गुरुपुत्र्याः समव्ययत् स्वीयं मत्वा प्रकुपिता देवयानीदमब्रवीत् अहो निरीक्ष्यतामस्याः दास्याः कर्म ह्यसाम्प्रतम् अस्मद्धार्यं धृतवती शुनीव हविरध्वरे यैरिदं तपसा सृष्टम् एवं क्षिपन्तीं शर्मिष्ठा गुरुपुत्रीमभाषत रुषा श्वसन्त्युरङ्गीव धर्षिता दष्टदच्छदा आत्मवृत्तमविज्ञाय कथसे बहुभिक्षुकी किं न प्रतीक्षते स्माकं गृहान् बलिभुजो यथा Now, Sharmishtha rebuked back at Devayani because of what Devayani said. She said, "You beggar, since you don't understand your position, why do you unnecessarily talk so much? Don't all of you wait at our house depending on us for your livelihood like crows? Evam vidhai supurushaihi क्षिप्त्वाचार्य सुतां सतीं शर्मिष्ठा प्राक्षिपत् कूपे वासश्चादाय मन्युना." Using such unkind words, Sharmishtha rebuked Devayani, the daughter of Shukracharya. In anger, she took away Devayani's garments and threw Devayani into a well. So Sharmishtha took Devayani and put her inside a well. After throwing Devayani into a well, Sharmishtha went home. Meanwhile, King Yayati, while engaged in hunting excursion, went to the well to drink water and by chance saw Devayani. And then he gave his upper cloth to Devayani. So then what happened was, the princess Sharmishtha once approached King Yayati at the appropriate time. So then she said that she will also marry King Yayati. And Devayani was already married to King Yayati, still she also wanted to. And then King Yayati, again adultery, what he was doing is, again because of his adultery, what he did to Sharmishtha and Devayani, Shukracharya, the father of Devayani, cursed him that may you become old, may you not be able to enjoy anything, wealth, power, fame, women, nothing you'll be able to enjoy from now on. And that's what he said. So then what happened was, he was sent back to his kingdom after being cursed, and then he went to every one of his sons, Druhyu, Anu, Puru, sorry, Puru and also all the other sons. But
Yeah,
no
that's
one
right.
gave him
These
his
are
youthfulness
age,
back. But when he asked for Puru, please give me my youthfulness.
The youngest one.
Then he said, okay, I'll give you. Then he gave. Because then he said that any son who is actually bad to his father is nothing but urine. That's all. He doesn't become a son, but he becomes urine of his father. That's what he was saying. So at that time, then he gave all his youthfulness to his father, and in turn took all the different kinds of old age from his father. So this is what he did, and therefore the next part is, now we'll see the part of Rantideva. Rantideva was a very great devotee of the Lord, and Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara was thinking, what should we do? Let's somehow, just Brahma and Maheshwara. Brahma and Shiva were thinking, some of we have to make a test. So they joined many other devas, Indra, Yama, Agni, Varuna, all of these people came. We'll test this Rantideva, is what he said. Then all of them came and they sat around Rantideva. First, one Chandala came. He said, no, first one farmer came. He asked, give me food, no please. All the food was given to him. Rantideva didn't even take anything. Next, dog eater came, Chandala. Chandala came in front of him and asked, give me some water. Feeling thirsty. He gave all the water. Then
finally is Chandala, second is dog, I think.
Yeah.
He gave the water to that.
And
finally that last Chandala came.
Last dirty Chandala came. And then he said, I'm low born, but still give me something.
So one grain of rice was there, I think so.
Then
he added and he brought the form of God in it. He was the God, I think so, in that form.
No, he was not God.
No, he took the form of it.
No, it was Yama. Chandala was Yama.
Yeah, okay.
And that farmer was Indra. Chandala was Yama, farmer was Indra, Varuna was one trader, one poor trader who had lost all his fortune. Like that.
So I might be mistaken with Harishchandra, I think so.
No. Okay. That was, he became himself a Chandala. So it's like that. And now you shall see the shlokas of this. तस्मै संव्यभजत्सोन्नम् आदृत्य श्रद्धयान्वितः हरिं सर्वत्र सम्पश्यन् स भुक्त्वा प्रययौ द्विजः. Because Rantideva perceived the presence of the Supreme Lord, head everywhere, and every living entity, he received the guest with faith and respect and gave him a share of his food. The Brahmana guest ate his share, then went away. First the Brahmana came, who was Brahma. Second, then after having divided the remaining food with his relatives, so Rantideva was just about to eat his own share when the Shudra guest arrived. Seeing the Shudra in relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, King Rantideva gave him also a share of the food. Yate Shudretamannyo gat atithi swabhiravritah rajanme diyatamannam saganaya bhubhukshate. When the Shudra went away, another guest arrived surrounded by dogs. O king, and I and my company of dogs are very hungry. Please give us something to eat. With great respect, King Rantideva offered the balance of the food to the dogs and the master of the dogs who had come as guests. The king offered them all respects and obeisances. Paniya matram uchchesham tacchaika paritarpanam pashyata pulkaso bhyavat apodehya subhayame. Thereafter, only the drinking water remained. There was only enough to satisfy one person. But when the king was about to drink it, a Chandala appeared and said, O king, although I am low born, kindly give me some drinking water. Tasyatam karunam vacham nishamya vipudashramam kripaya bhisha santaptah idamaham vachah. Agreed that hearing the pitiable words of the poor fatigued Chandala, Maharaja Rantideva spoke the following nectarian words. Nakamaye ham gatimishwarat param ashtardhi yuktam punarbhavam va artim prapadye khila deha bhajam andasthito yena bhavantya dukkha. I do not pray to the Supreme Personality of Godhead for the 8 perfections of the mystic yoga, nor for the salvation from repeated birth and death. I only want to stay among all the living entities and suffer all the distresses on their behalf so that they may be freed from suffering. So,
Explain that. Yeah.
then, that Yama came in the form of a Chandala, a dirty Chandala. Everybody quit. No, they thought Rantiya will just, no, please, I have only this
One
much
this
food,
I'll have, yeah.
Please, I have.
Difficult to
He
share,
didn't say
yeah.
that. He gave everything.
He forgets
So-
his words if you speak.
No, it's just talking.
No, I'm recording.
Recording,
To upload.
okay.
Then what happened was the food was given to every single person. Nobody was even feeling like distressed or anything. Brahma came in the form of Indra. Still, once again, Brahma came in the form of a Brahmana. Still, he was given the food. Then Shudra came, still given the food. Chandala came, still given the food. So everybody was struggling. By the time Yama came in the form of worst Chandala, very dirty person he came. All around he was coming all with dirty flies going all around him. Then Yama came, still he was also defeated. Everybody got his own share of food because of Ranti Deva. So now we shall okay. Now the dynasty of Bharata is what we shall see. In this dynasty, there was a king called Garga, from which he got a son called Shini, and his son was Gargya. Although Gargya was a Kshatriya, there came from him a generation of Brahmanas. From Mahavirya came a son named Durutakshaya, whose son was Trayaruni, Kavi, and Pushkararuni. Although these sons of Durutakshaya took birth in a dynasty of Kshatriyas, they too attained the position of Brahmanas. Brihatkshatra had a son named Hasti, who established the city of Hastinapura, now New Delhi. From King Hasti came three sons named Ajamidha, Dvimidha, and Purumidha. These descendants of Ajamidha, headed by Priyamedha, all achieved the position of Brahmanas. From Ajamidha came a son named Brihadishu. From Brihadishu came a son named Brihadhanu. From Brihadhanu a son came named Brihadkaya, and from Brihadkaya a son named Jayadratha. The son of Jayadratha was Vishada, and his son was Senajit. The sons of Senajit were Ruchirashava, Dridhahanu. Dridhahanu means one who has a very strong chin. That means who is very brave. Kashya and Vatsa. The son of Ruchirashava was Para. The sons of Para were Prithustena and Nipa. Nipa had 100 sons. King Nipa begot a son named Brahmadatta through the womb of his wife Krithvi, who was a daughter of Shuka. And Brahmadatta, who was a great yogi, begot a son named Vishwaksena through the womb of his wife Saraswati. Then, following the instructions of the great sage Jaigishavya, Vishwaksena compiled an elaborate description of the mystic yoga system. From Vishwaksena, Udaksena was born, and from Udaksena, Bhallata. All these sons are known as the descendants of Brihadishu. The son of Dvimidha was Yavinara, whose son was Kritiman. The son of Kritiman was well known as Satyadhriti. From Satyadhriti came a son named Dridhaneni, who became the father of Suparshva. From Suparshva came a son named Sumati. From Sumati came Sannatiman, and from Sannatiman came Kriti, who achieved mystic power from Brahma and taught 6 Samhitas from the Prakshya Sama verses of the Samaveda. The son of Kriti was Nipa. The son of Nipa, Udgrayudha. The son of Udgrayudha, Shemya. The son of Shemya, Suvira. And the son of Suvira, Ripunjaya. So such a long dynasty was there. And from Ripunjaya came a son named Bahuratha. Purumidha was sonless. Ajamidha had a son named Neera by his wife known as Nalini, and the son of Neera was Shanti. The son of Shanti was Sushanti, the son of Sushanti was Puruja, and the son of Puruja was Arka. From Arka came Bharmyashva, and from Bharmyashva came the 5 sons Mudgala, Yavinara, Brihad, Vishwa, Kampilla, Sanjaya. Bharmyashva prayed to his sons, "O my sons, please take charge of my 5 states, for you are quite competent to do so, and his 5 sons were known as the Panchalas. From Mudgala came a dynasty of Brahmanas known as Maudgalya. Mudgala, son of Bharmyashva, had twin children, one male and the other female. The male child was Divodasa and the female child was named Ahalya. From the womb of Ahalya, there was a person, Ahalya and Gautama married to make Shatananda. The son of Shatananda was Satyadhriti, who was an expert in archery, and son of Satyadhriti was Sharadwan. When Sharadwan met Urvashi, they married and they got 2 all auspicious babies, one male and the other female. This was test tube babies. These both were test tube babies. And while Maharaja Shantanu was on a hunting excursion, he saw the male and female children lying in the forest. Out of compassion, he took them home. Consequently, the male child was known as Kripa and the female child was known as Kripi. Kripi later became the wife of Dronacharya. So this is a long, full explanation of the entire dynasty of Bharata and then of Ajamila. The son of Divodasa was Mitrayu, and from Mitrayu came 4 sons: Chavana, Sudasa, Sahadeva and Somaka. Somaka was the father of Jantu. Somaka had 100 sons, of whom the youngest was Prashata. Prashata was born King Drupada, who was opulent in all supremacy. From Maharaja Drupada, Draupadi was born. Maharaja Drupada also had many sons headed by Drishtadyumna. When Drishtadyumna came a son, Drishtaketu. All these personalities are known as the descendants of Bharmyashva or the dynasty of Panchala. Another son of Ajamila was known as Riksha. From Riksha came a son named Samvarna, and from Samvarna and Tapati, the daughter of the sun god, came Kuru, the king of Kurukshetra. Kuru had 4 sons: Parikshi, Sudhanu, Jannu and Nishadha. From Sudhanu, Suhotra was born, and from Suhotra, Chavana. From Chavana, Kriti was born. So, the son of Kriti was Uparichara Vasu, and among his sons headed by Brihadratha were Kushamba, Matsya, Pratyagra and Chedipa. All the sons of Uparichara Vasu became rulers of the Chedi state. The same Chedi state, Shripada also took birth. From Brihadratha, Kushagra was born. From Kushagra, Rishabha, and from Rishabha, Satyahita. The sons of Satyahita was Pushpavan. The son of Pushpavan was Jahu. Through the womb of another wife, Brihadratha, he had 2 wives. Brihadratha begot 2 halves of a son. When the mother saw these 2 halves, she rejected them, but later a she-demon named Jara playfully joined them and said, "Come to life, come to life." Thus the son named Jarasandha was born. From from Jarasandha, his son was named Sahadeva. From Sahadeva, Somapi, and from Somapi, Shudashrava. The son of Kuru called Parikshi had no sons, but the son of Kuru called Jadnu had a son named Suratha. So it keeps on going on and on. This chapter is full of that. After the dynasty of the moon god comes to an end in this age of Kali, Devapi, in the beginning of the next Satyuga, will re-establish the Soma dynasty in the world. From Bahlika, the brother of Shantanu, came a son called Somartha, who had 3 sons: Bhuri, Bhurishrava, who later fought a battle with Arjuna, and then. So, in modern days, there is no tradition. The family breaks, destroys, another family comes up, breaks, destroys. That's how it keeps going on. But in this, generations and generations, people are still able to remember who is their great-great-great-grandfather. So, it goes on and on. So, we should move on to the next story. So, okay. So Srila Vyasadeva and his wife, the daughter of Jabali is a rishi, had performed penances together for many years, and finally they got a child. Inside, the womb, but the child didn't come out for 12 years totally. 12 years the child didn't come out. And then when the father told, come out, come out, come out, he started scolding him, caused with supersonic sound. Then the child said, no, until no illusion will touch me, I won't come out. So this Maya, money, wealth, nothing should touch me. So I am studying till then the Puranas and Shastras inside. So till then I will not come out. When I finished my total studies of from 11 years to 25 years, that much period of studies, if I finish, then only I will come out, he said. Vyasadeva then assured the child that he would not be influenced by Maya, but the child did not believe his father, for the father was still attached to his wife and children. Vyasadeva then went to Dwaraka and informed Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, about his problem. At Vyasadeva's request, Lord Krishna then went to Vyasadeva's cottage, where he assured the child in the womb that he would not be influenced by Maya. Thus assured, the child came out, but he immediately went away and became the great Parivrajikacharya, wandering saint Shukadeva Goswami. And this same Shukadeva Goswami is now telling the Bhagavatam to all the rishis and Parikshita in this canto. So now okay. Once when the powerful yogi Durvasa was a guest at the house of Kunti's father. So this is a very nice story. It is the story of Kunti's father and Kunti and Durvasa. These three characters were involved, plus Surya Deva and all the other devas. So when Durvasa came to the house of Kunti and said that you have to offer me whatever I say, you must give me now. For many days I should stay in your house, and whenever I want I will leave, whenever I will come, I will go and do my bath at whichever time I like, I will behave however I like, and your daughter will have to attend me properly. So then when he got up, he asked for food. When the food came, he said, I don't want food, throw it. If you eat it yourself also, I won't agree, you throw it. The food somehow has to be thrown. Then when she makes fresh and she comes, throw this also, don't want this. I can know if you maybe see if you give this to me the second time also. Then she has to throw that food also. Then if you don't give food, I'll curse you. Then she'll again prepare food and she'll bring and she'll give, he'll throw it. Then whenever he wants, in the midnight, he'll get up and say, I want food now. Within 5 minutes, you have to prepare good food for me and give. Then she'll try to prepare very fast, but good food she'll prepare and she'll give. And then again, after eating half of the food, he'll throw it in the dustbin. Then he'll do like that only. He'll keep troubling Kunti a lot. Then, still Kunti Devi, without being angry with him or without talking a single word against him, she just kept on attending him whatever he said. And in the morning, go fill the water. Then he'll touch the water and he'll take. This is cold water, it's not hot. Even though it's hot, it's cold. Throw it, he'll say. Then when the water is thrown, again go get more water from him. That he used to keep troubling a lot. We'll see the shlokas. Yes. So then what was happening is Sapa Durvasa so Vidyam Devahutim Pratoshitat तस्य वीर्य परीक्षार्थम् आजुहावर विंशतिः. Okay. So she to check. And in the end, after many days, Durvasa said, "Now I'm leaving. But since you treated me so nicely, then now I shall give you a secret mantra by which you can call any demigod, any deva, anytime you like, and we shall give you a son of his equal power." So then, after Durvasa left, she was sitting facing east. She touched some water and she started saying the mantra. She should check whether it is correct mantra or he just cheated me and run away. Then she just started that mantra after the sun god. She didn't know the sun god will come. Suddenly there was a blaze all around that spot. Immediately after chanting the mantra, the sun god personified came with a kamala in his hand, with a long gada, and he came and she immediately bowed down. But the sun god didn't take anything else. He said, "Now I am your real husband and now I shall give you a son. This is your son." And he gave then he gave Karna as a son. Then Karna came. Immediately she thought, "Oh, I'm not even married. Whatever all the people will think that oh, I just got a child from somebody else. What is happening?" She was getting very scared. Then she took the son and she took it and went to the river, put the baby inside a opened it only, gave it breathing space, but kept it inside one box and sent it like that. It went wherever it went, it kept on going. And then a charioteer and his wife Radha, they both got Karna and they named him Radheya, or the son of Radha. Next. We are done with this part. First So now we shall begin with the 10th canto, part 1.
You have to make the Babi chant, no?
Okay, let me come
Which
to
one?
that.
She's there.
Yeah.
Call her.
Exactly.
Shiv's wife, Babi.
Suhasini.
Unaria now, yeah. The beginning where you have to chant. 10th canto, na? We were waiting for one family member was missing. Everybody chanted, you did.
No.
No.
Day before yesterday.
You did. She did.
No.
I did.
You chanted one shloka, no?
Yeah, I did. Day before yesterday.
This 10th canto, as soon as you came, you did.
You only came, no? That book.
अभी आए दो लाइक
Yeah, I will do.
हाथ धो गया जल्दी
She was not there in the first day of Bhagavata.
Yeah, she was not there.
हाथ धो के आओ गए
वो बोल रहे हैं तो कर ले.
नहीं वो 10th
I think
मैं भूल गए शायद पता नहीं.
this is nearing, I think the 10th chapter, 10th canto, part 3 is nearing. You can take this book.
Instant. Let it come then.
No. Then you'll remove it, then you'll keep the other book. Become not
मैं एक दिन तक
पहले प्रिपेयर करे रखना. दिव्याना.
10 poem मम्मी को.
I should move.
अब के स्टार्ट थे सही. अच्छी बात. Which book का बता? No.
नहीं इधर
वो देगा कौन सा है?
There's kind of part 1 to this.
बोल के देना है मुझे.
And they are holding people, killing people, citizens, everybody. They are setting fire to houses, many things. Mother Earth is crying. So Mother Earth ran the form of a calf and came towards the Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma said, "Oh calf, oh cow, what has happened to you?" He asked. Then the earth said, "No, the full earth is in trouble, and all my people are just dying one by one because of dangerous kings like Kamsa. So please do something about it." Shiva, Brahma were thinking what to do. They don't have any idea, so they went to Krishna or Vishnu. They went and they started meditating a lot towards Vishnu. And at the Kshirodakashayi place, at the place where Vishnu lies on an ocean of milk, he got up and they started saying the Purusha Sukta mantras. Purusha Sukta is a part of the Rig Veda in which all the things come, like the moon is the right eye, is the left eye of God, the sun is the right eye of God, like that keeps going, continuing like that. So, while sitting in trance, Lord Brahma heard the words of Lord Vishnu vibrating in the sky. Thus he told the demigods, "O demigods, hear from me the order of the Supreme Person and execute it attentively without delay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who has full potency, will personally appear as the son of Vasudeva. For as long as the Lord moves on earth to diminish its burden by his own potency in the form of time, all of you demigods should appear through your plenary portions as sons and grandsons in the family of the Yadus, and your wives should also appear in the same dynasty." So, Lord Sri Krishna will appear as the son of Vasudeva, and all the other devas, including Brahma, Shiva, everybody will appear as Lord Krishna's friends and his close relatives and everybody in the same Yadu dynasty. So, and your wives should also appear in that dynasty. The foremost manifestation of Krishna is Sankarshana, the origin of all incarnations within this material world. Before Lord Krishna appears, this original Sankarshana will appear as Baladeva just to please Krishna in his transcendental pastimes. So Baladeva or Balarama will also appear with Krishna, is what Brahma was saying. Next, as the newly married Vasudeva and Devaki were ready to start for home, conch shells, bugles, drums and kettle drums all vibrated in concert for their auspicious departure. So they all were about to go back to their place after the marriage. They all were going in a huge procession and many kettle drums because they are relatives of the king. So they have to be honored a lot, and with kettle drums and all that big procession was there. Many people were going all around and flowers were being thrown everywhere. Suddenly what happened was the top sound from the top, Akashavani, said, "You foolish rascal, the 8th child of the woman you are carrying will kill you." Immediately the envious and sinful Kamsa caught hold of Devaki's hair with his left hand and took up his sword with his right hand to sever her head from her body. Fortunately, however, the great soul Vasudeva, who was to be the father of Krishna, was able to pacify him. He held the sword. Stop it. Otherwise Devaki would have been killed. Then, let's see the shlokas of this part. Okay, this is a very nice part. The advent of Lord Krishna. Rohinyastanayah proktah Ramas sankarshanastvaya Devakya garbha sambandhah Kuto dehantaram vina. My dear Shukadeva Goswami, you have already explained that Sankarshana, who belongs to the second quadruple, appeared as the son of Rohini named Balarama. If Balarama was not transferred from one body to another, how was it possible that he was first in the womb of Devaki and then in the womb of Rohini? Kindly explain this to me. So, Shri Suta Uvacha Evam Nishamya Bhrigunandana Sadhuvadam Vaihiyasaki Sabhagavan Atha Vishnuratam Pratyachya Krishna Charitam Kalikalmashabhnam Vyahattumarabhata Bhagavata Pradhana.
Explain that.
So, now, the Sutta Goswami said, O son of Bhrigu, Shaunaka Rishi, after Shukadeva Goswami, the most respectable devotee, the son of Vyasadeva, heard that the pious questions of Maharaja Parikshit, he thanked the king with great respect. Then he began to discourse on topics concerning Krishna, which are the remedy for all sufferings in the age of Kali. So next, we know the story. शंखतूर्य मृदंगाश्च नेदुर्दुन्दुभयसमं प्रयाण प्रक्रमेतात वरवध्वोऽस्तु मंगलम्. O beloved son, Maharaja Parikshit, when the bride and the bridegroom were ready to start, conch shells, bugles, drums and kettle drums were all vibrated in concert for their auspicious departure. Pati pragrahinam kamsam abhashyaha sharirabhag Asyastvamastamo garbho hantayam vahase buddha. While Kamsa was controlling the reins of the horses, was driving the chariot along the way, and an unembodied voice addressed him. You foolish rascal, the 8th child of the woman you're carrying will kill you. So, he was born in the Bhoja dynasty, Kamsa, and maybe he was a very sinful person. And when he heard that he will be killed by the 8th child, he took his sword immediately with impulse and was about to kill Devaki. But Vasudeva, he just calmed him down somehow. Devaki kept within herself the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the foundation of the entire cosmos. But because she was under arrest in the house of Kamsa, she appeared like the flames of a fire covered by the walls of a pot, or like a person who has knowledge but cannot distribute it to the world for the benefit of human society. Because Lord Krishna was within her womb, Devaki illuminated the entire atmosphere in the place where she was confined. At this time, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, accompanied by great sages like Narada, Devala, Vyasa, and other demigods like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, invisibly approached the room of Devaki. They all joined in offering respectful obeisances and prayers to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can bestow blessings upon everyone. So when she was lying there, somehow she was saved by Kamsa, and she was inside one nice room only. First inside a nice room, then afterwards inside a horrible jail. First inside a nice room she was thrown and kept there without any facilities thing. In the second time she was put inside a dungeon, so a dark dungeon, and therefore when she was there inside that, she was not able to even tell everybody that she has some very great person inside her room. So then when she conceived, you will see, when she got the child, what happened to her. Shri Vasudeva Uvacha Viditosi Bhavan Sakshat Purusha Prakrite Parahat Kevalanubhavananda Swarupa Sarva Buddhidruk. Vasudeva said, My Lord, you are the supreme person beyond material existence. You are the super soul. Your form can be perceived by transcendental knowledge, by which you can be understood as Supreme Personality of Godhead. I now understand your position perfectly. Next. Now we shall see the part in which Vasudeva is carrying the Lord to the Vrajabhumi or Vrindavana, where he will give it to the mother, the later mother, the second mother of Vishnu or Krishna, that is Yashoda. So that part has totally one shloka. Taya hrita pratyaya sarva vrittishu dvastheshu paureshvapi shayiteshu shvatha dvarascha sarva pihita duratyayaha prihat kapataya sakila shankhalaihi tah krishna vahe vasudeva agate स्वयं व्यवर्यन्त यथा तमोरवेः ववर्षपर्जन्य उपांशुगर्जितः शेषोन्वगाद्वारिनिवारयन्थणैः. By the influence of Yoga Maya, all the doorkeepers fell fast asleep, their senses unable to work, and other inhabitants of the house also fell deeply asleep. When the sun rises, the darkness automatically disappears. Similarly, when Vasudeva appeared, the closed doors, which were strongly pinned with iron and locked with iron chains, opened automatically. Since the clouds in the sky were mildly thundering and showering, Anantanaga, an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, followed Vasudeva, beginning from the door with hoods expanded to protect Vasudeva and the transcendental child. So those hoods were protecting him as he was walking forward and forward at the ocean. Just like as we see in the Christianism, we have that the ocean separated for the Jews to walk past the ocean. In the same way, Vasudeva, when he had to just cross the river opened up and Sheshanaga came from within, protected the Lord. Even how he keeps the Lord on his lap, in the same way, he now came to protect Vasudeva from the heat and thunder coming. Thunder, all that was coming from the top, so it would have killed him easily. But still, Sheshanaga was protecting him. So Vasudeva was protected by Sheshanaga. When Kamsa heard that Devaki's 8th child had been born, he approached Devaki, grasped the newborn child by the legs and tried to dash her against the surface of a stone. But the child, Yogamaya Devi, the younger sister of Lord Vishnu, slipped upward from Kamsa's hands and appeared in the sky as goddess Durga. Suddenly she appeared and Kamsa got very, very scared. Kamsa was about to take it and dash the child to the wall and kill it, but that didn't happen. And Durga came up, and while celestial beings like Apsaras, Kinnaras, Uragas, Siddhas, Charanas, Gandharvas worshipped her with all kinds of presentations, she spoke as follows. O Kamsa, you fool, who has been what will be the use of killing me? Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has been your enemy from the very beginning and who will certainly kill you, has already taken his birth somewhere else. Therefore, do not unnecessarily kill other children. Then, Nanda Maharaja, who was actually very magnanimous, and when the Lord Sri Krishna had appeared as his son, he was overwhelmed by jubilation. Therefore, after properly bathing and purifying himself and dressing himself properly, he invited Brahmanas who he knew to recite Vedic mantras. And then all of them came, and then all the Dundubis and Bheris, they blew. Dundubi means a buffalo's horn, which is expanded and in which many parts are put for it to give some sound. So Dundubi was actually a demon buffalo. So from his name, this has been taken. So Bheris and Dundubis were being sounded for Krishna's birth, and everybody had come to offer their particular gifts to the Lord. So, the beautiful gopi wives of the cowherd men were very pleased to hear that Mother Yashoda had given birth to a son, and after decorating themselves very nicely with proper dresses, ornaments, black ointment for the eyes, and so on, they hurried to Nanda Maharaja's house. Offering blessings to the newborn child, the wives and the daughters of the cowherd men said, "May you become the king of Vraja and long maintain all its inhabitants." Then they sprinkled a mixture of turmeric powder, oil and water upon the birthless Supreme Lord Krishna and offered their prayers. So this is the thing which talks about the Lord. And now we shall say the shloka which says how a living entity actually is and how is the soul of a living entity. Ekayano dviphalastrimulaha chaturasah panchavidha षडात्मा सप्तत्वगष्टविटपो नवाक्षो दशच्छदी विखगो यादिवृक्षः. The total body and the individual body are of the same composition, may figuratively be called the original tree. From this tree, which fully depends on the ground of material nature, come two kinds of fruits, the enjoyment of happiness and the suffering of distress. The cause of the tree forming its three roots in association with the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion and ignorance. The fruits of bodily happiness have four tastes: religiosity, economic development, sense gratification and liberation. In modern world, people are only checking on economic development, sense gratification. They don't care about religiosity and also liberation. But in the ancient times, it was not that people just left the economic development and just kept on concentrating on some dhyana or something. They combined everything but kept the goal and objective of the entire thing as the Lord. That's why it was made like this. And so we finish this part of the 10th canto. Okay. So first we shall see the killing of the demoness Putana. And first the shlokas will be stripped. कंसेन प्रहिता घोरा पूतना बालघातिनी शिशूंश्चचार निघ्नन्ति पुरुग्राम व्रजादिषु. Nowadays we are having abortion companies which are specially made for abortion, like Planned Parenthood. So they go abort children and spread the message of depopulation or killing people. So this is what they keep spreading all around the world. So this is what is the problem basically of what is happening in modern day. So fine. Now she used to go around. She was a hired person who used to go around and kill babies and come back, drink the baby's blood, and then whoever was predicted to trouble, then that person she'll kill. So she was a special murderer. She used to put a lot of poison into her body, like a Vishakanya, drop by drop, and she used to make her body full of poison. Then she used to make children drink her milk and then die. She used to do the same thing to every child. This time she offered Krishna her milk. She came inside taking the form of a very beautiful woman and came inside, and then Yashoda was getting hypnotized. What is this? And then she allowed. And then the milk was given to Krishna. Krishna drank the milk. Nothing happened to him. Instead, he took the milk also from her, plus her life also, and the poison that was there in her. Everything she took away. Everything Krishna took away. And finally she was dying. At that time she revealed her huge form. The gigantic demon Putana suddenly expanded. She started running all over the kingdom. She got too huge, extending even the height of the whole Rajabhumi. And then she fell hard on the floor like a huge banyan tree. But she fell and all the gopis were running hither and thither. They saw that Krishna was playing around the chest. Everywhere it was just jumping around as if it's a playground. Then on the corpse of Putana, it was going on. All the mouth vomit and the poison was coming out of her mouth and she died. Then Krishna was taken from there by the gopis. No hurt was done by Krishna. Nothing was hurt. Not a single blood drop had also come out of his body. Just after the baby Krishna had turned 3 months old, Mother Yashoda saw that he was slanting his body in an attempt to rise and turn around. To celebrate this auspicious occasion, she arranged to observe the Vedic ceremony called Utthana, a bathing ceremony performed when the child is due to leave the house for the first time. So, Mother Yashoda is called together to the other women of the neighborhood to assist her, and the Brahmanas joined by chanting Vedic hymns while professional musicians played their instruments and sang. So, Balarama was already born and he was helping Krishna's ceremony, Utthana ceremony, when he gets up and turns around. The moment they try to get up and they turn around, or they try to get out of their house, or they leave their house, that is when Utthana is happening. So, they did the Utthana ceremony, in which all of the guests were invited, Brahmanas were invited, everybody was enjoying that ceremony. And now we shall see the shlokas. Nandasya patni kritamajjanadikam vipraih kritaswastyayanam supujitaih annadhyavasasya gabhishtadhenubhih sanjata nidrakshamasi shayachanaihi. After completing the bathing ceremony for the child, Mother Yashoda received the Brahmanas by worshipping them with proper respect and giving them ample food, grains and other eatables, clothing, desirable cows and garlands. The Brahmanas properly chanted the Vedic hymns to observe the auspicious ceremony, and they finished, and Mother Yashoda saw that the child felt sleepy. She lay down in the bed with the child until he was peacefully asleep. So, when the Utthana ceremony was being done, Krishna was sleeping like that for a long time. Suddenly he got up and there was a cart close to him. He started kicking the cart violently. The cart broke open into pieces. Everybody was wondering, why did he do that? And they saw that the cart was like a human body. It was an evil demon who had come there. So, it is the demon who was a horrible demon, who was a cart demon, cart form demon. So he was killed, and then now you shall see Trinavarta's story, or the whirlwind demon, who comes in the form of tornadoes and huge typhoons and destroys things. So you shall see that story. Daityo नाम्ना तृणावर्तः कंसभृत्यः प्रणोदितः चक्रवातस्वरूपेण जहारासीनमर्भकम्. He was also another assassination agent who came, and he used to go around the Rajabhumi, kidnap children, take them to high heights and then fling them from the top. The baby will go and fall with a thud on a stone and then get cut, the head will get open and blood will start flowing and the baby will die. So that was his work. Lift up children with their legs and go up in the sky and throw them from the top. That was his work. He came to Krishna. The same way, when finally when they all were sitting in one spot and they had kept Krishna, all the Nanda, everybody was sitting and Mother Yashoda had kept Krishna on the lap. Suddenly Krishna's weight became as much as the universe's weight. Entire universe's weight was as much as Krishna. She got too much and she kept Krishna down on the floor. Four was also not able to bear it. Sometimes Krishna was just sleeping there. Then Trinavarta came like that in the form of a huge cyclone kind of a thing, and he lifted Krishna, took him to heights in the sky, and then was about to throw him, but he couldn't even hold Krishna because it was feeling as if Krishna is the whole universe's weight, and so much weight was there. A huge iron thing as if he's carrying it. He was getting very, very scared. And what he was doing is he was trying to throw Krishna, but Krishna held his neck hard. Then hard, and then finally tore his neck open and got choked and he fell down. And Krishna held his neck, and then like an aeroplane he was taking that Trinavarta all around until Trinavarta fell. He was coming down until then. From the top atmosphere, from there he was falling, Trinavarta. And till it was falling, he was enjoying like an aeroplane, coming spiraling down that body and fell third on the floor. Still he was on the chest of Trinavarta, so nothing happened to him. And nothing had happened, even though he was sustaining that huge fall from the top and that vibration also. So, Mother Yashoda saw Trinavarta was dead. Krishna is happily playing around his body again. Still, nothing has happened to him. And one day, Vasudeva inspired Gargamuni, the family priest of the Yadu dynasty, to go to Nanda Maharaja's house in Vrindavana and perform the name-giving ceremony for Krishna and Balarama. To keep the ceremony hidden from King Kamsa, Nanda Maharaja requested Gargamuni to perform it in Nanda's very secluded cowshed. As Gargamuni cradled baby Krishna in his hands, he said to Nanda Maharaja, to increase the transcendental bliss of the cowherd men of Gokula, this child Krishna will always act auspiciously for you, and by his grace only you will surpass all difficulties. Demons cannot harm the demigods, who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. Similarly, any person or group attached to Lord Krishna is extremely fortunate, because such persons are very much affectionate towards Krishna. They cannot be defeated by demons like associates of Kamsa. O Nanda Maharaja, in his transcendental qualities, opulence, name, fame and influence, this child of yours is exactly like Narayana. You should therefore raise him very carefully and cautiously, is what he said. And Gargamuni gave sufficient advice to all the Gopikas and the Gopas and also Nanda Maharaja, Yashoda about everything. And once while Krishna was playing with the brother, he took some mud and he put it in his mouth. Balarama said, hey, don't take it, it's dirty, it's mud. No, it looks like butter to me, it's not mud. So he took it and he put it inside his mouth. Then when Yashoda came, hey, what did you put in his mouth? Then opened the mouth and she saw, for one moment, she found the entire universe inside the mouth of Krishna. All the different bhukandas, this, that, galaxy, sun, earth, moon, everything she saw, and she fell exactly at that same place. Then Nanda Maharaja came there and then saw that that his wife had fallen on the floor, and then when he asked her, no, I saw the entire planetary systems and the sun, the moon, the Mars, Mercury, all the different planetary systems, Indra's kingdom, and the galaxies inside his mouth. I think it was just a dream, but I really saw this is what she was saying. Then we shall read the shlokas. एकदा क्रीडमानास्ते रामाद्या गोपदारकाः कृष्णो मृदं भक्षितवान् इति मात्रे न्यवेदयन्. One day while Krishna was playing with the small playmates, including Balarama and other sons of the Gopas, all his friends came together and lodged a complaint to Mother Yashoda. Mother, they submitted. Krishna has eaten earth. So, सा गृहीत्वा करे कृष्णं उपालभ्य हितैषिणी यशोदा भय संभ्रांता प्रेक्षणाक्षमा भाषत. Upon hearing this from Krishna's playmates, Mother Yashoda, who was always full of anxiety over Krishna's welfare, picked Krishna up with her hands and to look inside his mouth and chastise him. Her eyes were fearful and she spoke to her son as follows. Kasman mridam adantman Bhavan bhakshitaman rahah vadanti tavaka hyete kumaraste grajopyayam. Dear Krishna, why are you so restless that you have eaten dirt in a solitary place? This complaint has been lodged against you by all your playmates, including your elder brother Balarama. How is this? Naham bhakshitavanamba sarve mithyabhi shamshinah yadi satyagirastarhi samaksham pashyame mukham. Lord Krishna replied, my dear mother, I have never eaten dirt. All my friends complaining against me are liars. If you think they are being truthful, you can directly look into my mouth and examine it. Yadyevam tarhi vyadehi ityuktasya bhagavan harihi uktasya bhagavan harihi vyadatta vyahata ishwaryah क्रीडा मनुज बालकाः सतत्र ददृशे विश्वं जगत्स्थास्नु चखं दिशः साद्रिद्विपाद्भिभूगोलं सवायव्याग्नीन्दु तारकं. When Krishna opened his mouth wide by the order of his mother Yashoda, he saw within his mouth all moving in a non-moving entities, outer space, all directions along with mountains, islands, oceans, the surface of the earth, the blowing wind, fire, moon and stars. She saw the planetary systems, water, light, air, sky, creation by the... So then he said that, oh mother, I have not taken any butter. I am sure about this and I promise.
Sing that song.
Amma nanu devarane venne kadillam, which means that I have not stolen the butter. I promise you I have not stolen it. I promise I swear on God that I have not stolen butter. And the same song was for mud also. So then he saw the full mouth, and the full mouth was full of all of these things. The entire spiritual energy was given in there. And then sometimes Krishna and Balarama would secretly enter the storeroom, steal yogurt and butter and feed it to the monkeys. One such occasion, Mother Yashoda caught Krishna and Balarama in the act. Krishna was standing on an upside down wooden grinding mortar distributing the yogurt and butter to the monkeys as he liked, and Balarama was hiding behind a pillar. So he was standing on a long wooden thing and removing the butter and giving it to the monkeys, all of them. So they began to look at her with great anxiety as if they were afraid that she would chastise them. One day Krishna stole some butter and went to a secluded place to eat it. As he ate, he looked all around with great anxiety, suspecting he might be chastised by his mother. Finally, Mother Yashoda found him by tracing his butter-smeared footprints. But as she very cautiously approached Krishna from behind, he suddenly noticed her and quickly began to flee as if he was very afraid. He ran at such a great speed that his mother could not catch him. Finally, because her mother had a lot of love and affection, and because she was also tired, he just stopped there and he allowed his mother to catch him. And his mother, then we will know about the curse of the Yamala and Arjuna trees. So, Narada Muni has cursed them, saying, यदिमौ लोकपालस्य पुत्रौ भूत्वा तमप्लुतौ न विवास समात्मानं विजानीतः सुदुर्मदौ अतोऽर्हतस्थावरतां स्यातां नैवं यथा पुनः स्मृतिस्यान् मत्प्रसादेन तत्रापि मदनुग्रहात् वासुदेवस्य सन्निध्यां लब्ध्वा दिव्यसरक्षते वृत्ते स्वर्लोकतां भूयः लब्धा भक्तिः भविष्यतः. So there were these two young men, Nalakuvera and Manigriva, who were the sons of Kuvera, the lord of wealth. And as we have such big politicians nowadays who have lots of money, their sons just go and park their cars wherever they like. They'll park in no parking. The police come and say, hey, they'll say. That they have the authority to say whatever they like. And then they can just show the identity card. See, my father is a big politician. I'm not going to give you any fine. So, in the same way, Nalakuvira, the same thing. Lord Shiva was one of the greatest demigods, but who was a good person, was doing meditation there. And in the middle, Nalakuvira were friends of Shiva. So Shiva told them, you can wander anywhere you like in my mountain, but be good only in this mountain. What they were doing is they wandered around with all their friends and all the different women of their entire empire, and they used to go around in lakes and started living there only, and then started enjoying that particular spot. Then what was happening is they were all naked, fully naked they were all. And then when Narada was walking on that road, on that route, he found that all the women already wore their dresses because they knew that Narada is approaching. But Nalakuvira and Manigriva, they didn't. They just were naked only. They didn't wear any dress and they stood right there. And then he said, because you are naked, you will never be given the chance to ever wear a cloth, nor to move anywhere, and you will have to stand in the same posture that you are there right now. And he cursed them to become trees. Nowadays too, any person who commits adultery or stands naked or anything like that in front of the public, then he will be born as a tree. So, moreover, by my special favor, after the expiry of 100 years by the measurement of the demigods, that means 100 years of the demigods means about more than one yuga of human calculation. They will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, face to face, and thus will revive their real position as devotees. So now, they became twin Arjuna trees like this. Nalakuvera and Manigriva, like this they became twin Arjuna trees. Then when Krishna was bound, at the time he came with the mortar behind him and started rolling, and then lots of force broke up and broke the trees. The trees fell with a thud and all the Nanda, Maharaj, everybody came running there. But it took a long time to run. Within that, Nalakuvera and Manigriva offered their respectful obeisances to the Lord and prayed to him a lot. So, now, to finish this part also. After selecting a pleasing location on the river bank, Lord Krishna and his friends opened their baskets of food and began eating in great transcendental pleasure. So they had taken their food and started to open. Then Madhusudana gave them some rasagullas, and everybody were giving each other different water foods, like just like a potluck they make, no? That all the children had brought their packets of food, whatever sweets or fruits their mothers have sent. So Yashoda also gave her son one golden anklet and every single thing for him to go, and it was like a picnic for them to go. And then all of them were sitting and eating different foodstuffs and like exchange. I'll give you this, you give me that. So they were all giving to Krishna and Krishna was giving to them. Like this fruit you take from you, give me that. They are exchanging and they were eating nicely at the bank of the river. And suddenly what happened was, Brahma was going on the top like that only. He was seeing, oh, all of these people are there here. Is what he was seeing. Then, one day, 5 or 6 nights before the completion of the year, Krishna, tending the calves, entered the forest with Balarama. So, okay. Now, actually, Krishna was the Lord, and all the friends around him were expansions of the Lord. They were actually Lords itself. They were all Lords who had done lots of penance to become 70% Lord. So, Supreme Brahma came there. And Lord Brahma saw the absolute truth, who is one without the second, who is without any equal, because he had committed an offense. He had simply taken all the Madhusudana, all the friends of Krishna, and taken them and kept him in his Brahmaloka, so that they do not come back to Krishna. They were crying without Krishna there. The monkeys of Krishna, everybody who were devoted to Krishna, took them to Brahmaloka and kept them there in his custody. Gave them whatever they liked, but those people didn't eat. They wanted only from Krishna, that's all. Then what happened was, Krishna then came and then he saw the Brahma's footsteps and one lotus petal was kept there. When he saw the lotus petal, it was not an ordinary lotus petal from the earth. It was a huge lotus petal and some swan feathers also there. They were not the normal swan feathers. They were glittering swan feathers of some huge swan bird. Then he realized, oh, lotus flower, swan feather, this is Brahma, 100%. Then he called for Brahma with his mantras. He pulled Brahma up from Brahmaloka and he brought him down. Then he created different forms of his own friends. And he said, no, see, I have an extra part of my own friends. I have created my own friends again. So I can do this. Can you do that? He asked. Then Brahma says, oh, sorry. And he started saying the Brahma Samhita, the entire Brahma Samhita. Ishwarah Paramah Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He started saying the same thing over and all of those different mantras one by one.
Meaning what you said?
That means Ishwaraha Paramaha Krishna. That means the Lord is the super soul, the supreme person who is not at all exhaustible and is continuous, and the Lord and the control of everything else. Ishwara Paramah Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha, one who is encompassed of Sat, good, Chit or good brain, Ananda or bliss. So that is goodness, knowledge and bliss. One who is having all of these three qualities, Satchidananda Vigraha. Vigraha means a form of Satchidananda. Anadir Adir Govinda, or the starting and the middle, the ending. But he is one only, but he expands himself into the everything, and he doesn't end ever. Anadir Adir Govinda. He is always the beginning, he is never the end. Sarva Karana Karanam. Whatever is happening in the world is all because of him, is what is said.
It's too long. I tried putting it back. Use a stick to put it back.
How to order?
It's too long. It's too long.
There's a place called Brahmakunda in Vrindavana. If you have seen that spot, that is where Brahma offers prayers to Lord Shri Krishna. And there is only one existing temple of Brahma, in Ujjain. Huge church, it's called a Lotus Temple. There, Brahma's temple is there. So only existing temple. Yeah, Ujjain. So, now we are started with the 10th canto, part 4, in which all the different Gopals were going all around with Krishna, and Balarama headed with a cow. They were running with the cow, and the charming sounds of bees, animals, beasts, everything was going in a beautiful flow. And now we shall see. In Krishna's Vrindavana pastime, Balarama, the first expansion of the personality of Godhead, acts as the Lord's elder brother. Shukadeva Goswami said, the primeval Lord saw that the stately trees with their beautiful reddish buds and their heavy burden of fruits and flowers were bending down to touch his feet with the tip of their branches. Thus he smiled gently and addressed his elder brother, O greatest of lords, see how these trees are bowing their heads at your lotus feet, which are worshipable by the immortal gods. So, now we shall see the story of the killing of Dhenukasura. So, the shlokas. फलानि तत्र भूरीणि पतन्ति पतितानि च सन्ति किन्त्ववरुद्धानि धेनुकेन दुरात्मना. In the Talavana forest, many fruits are falling from the trees and many are already lying on the ground, but all the fruits are being guarded by the evil Dhenuka. So none of the fruits should go to any person, is what was Dhenuka's wish. So he was the lord of the entire forest, the Talavana. He was the evil Dhenukasura, who was actually a demon in the form of a human only, but he can change his body whenever he likes to any animal, but mainly he loves the form of a donkey. So he came like a donkey, rushed like a donkey in front of Balarama, who was shaking the trees. And then what happened was, all the other children of the Gopas, everybody was getting so scared. Oh, what to do, what to do, what to do? They were screaming towards Balarama. Balarama lifted up Dhenukasura, turned him around and around and around 5 or 6 times, and then threw him up in the sky. So, one after the other they were thrown. Then the friends of Dhenukasura came, one by one. All of them came. Balarama lifted up some coconut trees that he had broken, the tara trees that he had broken, and flung them on the floor. All of these asses were coming. When they were coming forward and forward, all the donkeys were coming. At that time, the logs were also rolling. They dashed the logs and they slid and they fell down on the floor. So, then all the other ones were thrown on top of the all the tara trees, and then each one of them were falling because tara trees couldn't withstand the weight of these huge donkeys. So, Mother Yashoda and Mother Rohini, the mothers of Krishna and Balarama respectively, acting most affectionately towards their 2 sons, offered all the best things to them in response to their every desire and at various appropriate times. When they wanted pearl necklace, she used to give them pearl necklace, special pearls and all. So, once, there's a pastime of the Lord in which he asked for pearls from his mother. Lots of pearls you give me. I'm going to plant pearls and I'll give you pearls from the plants. Okay, you get extra pearls, you just give me 1 pearl, I'll give you 4 pearls from the flower. But so Yashoda said, what are you saying? Pearls are not seeds. They are just small bodies of some animal which is living in the ocean. Then she explained to him what is a pearl. Then he said, no, I'll show you. Perfectly, I'll show you. Then all of them went, started planting pearls. Then Raza saw, oh, he's planting pearls. He'll plant something else. Then she started planting thorns. So that when the pearls grow and they are going to carry the pearls, and they get pricked by the thorns. So just that friendship kind of enmity, that kind of a thing. So then the pearls were given, and then they planted the pearls. Then the flowers came out, and each one of the flowers had a lot of pearls in them. Then he went and showed them to his mother. 400 or 500 pearls had come in them. The mother was astonished. Oh, what has happened? Such a miraculous thing. Then it was like that. And then now the Kaliya's 1000 hoods is what we see about his story. इत्थं च गोकुलमनन्य गतिं निरीक्ष्य सस्त्री कुमारमति दुःखितमात्महेतोः अज्ञाय मर्त्यपदवीमनुवर्तमानः स्थित्वा मुहूर्तमुदैष्ठदुरङ्गबन्धात्. Lord remained for some time in the coils of the serpent, just to show that he was an ordinary person. Because then if all the Nandas and all the Gopalas, everybody gets to know that he is the Lord. Why? So he got stuck in the serpent's coils, that Kaliya's hoods. So how he had a fight was, suddenly the ocean became such blue color. The full river became blue color, and smell was coming from the river. 2-3 Gopalas fell down and died. Died means like unconscious. And then the calves, monkeys, everybody was just falling down there. Krishna, when he saw everybody is dying one by one, he jumped on the kadamba tree and took a leap from the kadamba tree. He fell directly into the ocean, into the river. He went deep into the river and started searching. Suddenly he found some hissing snake inside. He saw him, and both of them immediately saw each other, and they got up for a fight. The 1000-headed snake came forward and lifted up Krishna and threw him up. And then again Krishna fell inside, and again, just to show that he was an ordinary mortal, he was getting caught. Then after some time he got up, did a dance on top of his head, and he kept on vomiting. And Nanda Maharaja was getting like a headache, and Yashoda already fell down. And all the different Gopalas just fell down on the floor. They were thinking what to do, thinking a lot, and they were full of tension. And finally, the Kaliya, or that demon, was vomiting blood and poison from his mouth. That poison is what was blinding his full life. He was thinking he was the Lord and all that. He had run to Yamuna because of Garuda's fear. Then finally, Krishna ordered him to go back to your ocean, and because you have the mark of my lotus feet on your head, none of the Garuda, no Garuda or any eagle will attack you, is what he said. Then, now Lord Balarama's fight with Pradambasura, or a horrible demon who came to kidnap Balarama and kill him and eat him then. So, what was happening was, once all the different Gopas were playing around, and then they were playing the tug of war like this. 4 people here, 4 people there. And like this, they're playing. Balarama on one side, Krishna on the other side. They're playing, pulling, playing with it. The middle, this one, Pradambasura, how to get within them, how to kidnap Balarama. Some of your things you must do. But he wanted to kidnap Krishna actually. But actually, he wanted to kidnap Krishna. He thought Krishna was Balarama. Therefore, he joined this one, Krishna's side. So he sat on Krishna's side. So whoever loses will have to take the other person on his lap and go, or his shoulders and go. So when the Krishna side lost, and Krishna took some other Gopa, and actually Krishna and Balarama was on one side, or this Pradambasura was on the other side, and all the other Gopas were on the other side. Krishna and Balarama won the match, and Pradambasura fell inside a lake in the middle because pulled him and he fell inside the lake. So then, okay, I have lost. No, he just let go, like, so that somehow I have to carry Balarama. Then he took Balarama and slowly kept on running till he was too far away from all the Gopas. For one round throughout the forest, just throughout 1 kilometer or something, they had to come and come back. Just some steps and come back. But this one, Pradambasura, went long. Everybody was enjoying till then. They forgot about Balarama. Suddenly Krishna inquired, where is Balarama? Then Krishna saw his yogic thing. Oh, he's fighting with Pradamba now. And finally when Pradamba's form came up, he was just acting as a boy for the first time. Then suddenly his form changed, started becoming too huge, and then he had terrible eyes, scowling brows, and amazing, beautiful effulgence, and an amazing effulgence generated by his armlets, crown and earrings. The Lord seemed to be a little frightened because that Asura's body was full of effulgence, and he was such a horrible personality, as his eyes were red colors and blood was going all around his mouth, as he had eaten many other children too. So then Balarama just took his hand and then mightily punched that Pradamba one shot, and Pradamba just went down on the floor. Then he took one long rope and then started turning all his legs all around. Then Pradamba fell flat on the floor with his head. Then he fell unconscious. Again he got up and held him hard in the hands like this for a long time. Balarama opened his hands, jumped up and then punched him hard, just like how Indra kills Vritrasura. He killed Pradamba, and Pradamba's down dead body fell direct on the ground. He started vomiting a lot of blood and his head cracked open with all the blood coming out. So, when Krishna was being dressed as a girl by the gopis, because of what he had done, he had taken butter again, so they caught him and they dressed him as a girl. They put one ghagra choli for him and they dressed him as a girl. Then he was okay with all of that because he himself has come as Mohini Buddhi, so he was okay with that. And then suddenly Krishna spotted that there was a fire there. Immediately he removed all his girl clothes, he wore his clothes and then his current boy clothes, and he ran towards the forest with all his gopas. He ran towards that mountain where that fire was coming, up and up the fire was coming. He went there and saw that one Asura, who was looking like a vampire, was putting fire everywhere and the wind was taking him here and there. That he was also a dangerous demon who was sent to destroy entire Vrindavana. So, all the different gopas were getting so scared.
What's his name?
He was Agnyasura. No particular name given to him, but he was fire demon or Agnyasura. So, Agni Asura, fire demon. So therefore he was running all around and he was creating fire, setting fire everywhere he was going. And then all the gopas just said, please O Lord, help us. And then he said, just sleep off, I will take care of everything else. Then they all stepped off and Krishna came. By his mystic yogic power, he took all the entire fire inside his full mouth and he took it just as a nice breathe and the fire demon went inside, got exhausted and killed.
Yeah. The remaining 7-3 tomorrow.
So the remaining will be done in the last day tomorrow, in which we will have the parts 7, 8, 9, 10,
5, 6.
yeah,
Yeah. This was 4.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11, 7 parts. Plus we shall have 5 parts of the 11th canto and 1 part of the 12th canto. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. It was super.
Any question, ma'am? Question?
The stories had been heard before and we had seen.
Yes.
So he had done it with me. It's done
Thank you.
superbly.
Thank you.